I think we're just going to start.
Yeah.
Session 3 of the Damned. So we've already got initiative roll, which is good. Up on our initial ladder behind us. I think we should just literally. We need to determine our coin pool first. Everybody roll a 1d6.
Gotta do a recap for Tim.
Yeah. We'll do a little recap. Yeah, here in just a moment. Any sixes?
3.
A 3.
2.
Okay. Oh, so
All less. Give us.
now they're going inside the guts of the mimic. Don't peek.
Hold on. Just
You
for
can
those
rotate
on,
it if you need
just
to.
for those on the camera. Man,
Go in
I
there.
know, but we haven't heard a dice sound.
Yeah.
So-
I'm sure what people are seeing on the camera, which they can't see, is the mystery cloth that I use to cover up all of our terrain for a situation may happen. We don't know. We'll see what happens tonight.
We're gonna dodge the combat somehow.
It could happen. But I think we should actually just jump right in and start talking about last game session.
Yes, please.
And it's been a couple weeks, and we're playing every other week. So, if you recall, you had come to Bastion, and you discovered that Bastion was literally a collection of wagons. It was not a place that was some fortified village or anything like that. But you came back with the sacred remnants, and you were tasked with you were supposed to return to Simon the Small. What happened while you were in Bastion?
2 of us moved on. Right? We met people.
We spoke.
Go.
We spoke with a Soulsborne woman.
That's right.
Who?
You should have cards if you're forgetting names.
Yeah, you're right. We do.
My card hasn't come up yet, but
You have a card.
We talked to Alma the apothecary.
That's her name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lantern.
She's a Ciabra. She's wearing no mask.
That's right.
she wanted to talk with you more later.
Yeah, we're gonna
But,
talk. We're gonna talk later.
She didn't much care for us being around for all those questioning and whatnot. She just kind of wanted to take care of what we needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Patch us up and get us out.
Mending and laudanum and smelling salts and other drugs you may need.
And then eventually we went to Simon the Small, right?
Do you need anybody else?
We spoke with Civil, the arms master.
That's right. He's one of the first people I think you saw, in fact, when you
Very
came up on
He
Bastion.
has a cane and he wears rough spun wool.
Yeah.
Sybil.
Civil.
Sybil.
Yes.
I got no cards, guys.
We showed him our
lantern.
no, we did not show him our lantern, but we showed him our remnants.
Yeah.
And we kind of had a discussion about what we were going to do next, either going with him and the others or staying behind to.
That is Simon the Small.
That was Simon the Small.
Yeah,
okay,
so
right.
you're confusing a few people. So Civil was in fact Civil the Armsman, as he's called. He and a group called the Highwaymen are the protectors of the caravan, the protectors of Bastion. And he's the first people you kind of encountered when you came back here. And eventually you found your way to Simon the Small.
But they are old ex-highwaymen.
Yeah, they are literal highwaymen. Yeah.
Bastion. Bastian.
O-N.
O-N.
Like a bastion, like a fortress.
I finally remembered my notepad, so
Yeah,
I gotta catch up with my notes.
Yeah, you learned some things about Simon the Small, too. You know that he was fully bandaged up, like head to toe.
He's a leper.
He's a leper, yes, and he wore the thin metal crown of an Eloranite, but he is the would-be leader of Bastion. You talked to him a bit about loss of memory, uncertainty about the future. That's when Midden started. You know, the season of ash is now falling everywhere. They talked to him about a few other things too.
He's untrustworthy.
He's not trustworthy.
Yeah. What'd you learn while talking with him?
That it was either we were to go with them and flee because the Templar, right? That's what he's called. Or
The Brass Paladin.
the Brass Paladin. Okay, yeah, the Brass Paladin.
Samesies.
Is is after us basically, and is coming this way. And
Well, he's been
so-
after Bastion for a while now.
Yeah.
That's right.
Not just because of this.
Not just because of the remnants. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
The character's card you have, and the highwayman. What's his name?
Civil.
Civil. And
The arms master.
yeah, Civil, the shepherd of the highwayman, is going to stay behind and distract the brass paladin. And
That's right.
we had a choice to make whether or not we would go with the rest of Bastion to safety, or whether or not we would remain to what's the word I'm looking for? Confront the brass paladin.
We chose confront.
Yeah. You chose to remain
I know
behind.
I chose to remain. Did we all or did we split?
No, all of us are staying.
We're staying. Okay.
Yeah.
We initially didn't agree, but we came
Yeah.
together.
Came to an accord.
Mm-hmm.
A level-headed discussion.
Yeah, Pipistrella definitely wanted to say.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a you were all only alive because of Simon the Small and because of Bastion, the handful of people that are among the caravan. And as Simon and the others pick up, as the oxen begin to draw the 8 or so wagons off into the distance, out into the midden, you were behind. Where Bastion had set up is in the shadow of the Teeth, this impossibly tall cliffside. That at the foot of it is this thicket of woods that have been untouched. But since Bastion had settled here for the last few weeks, it was amid kind of a series of old stony ruins. Something used to be here. You're not really sure what. But it was a safe place for a while, at least, to get away from the Brass Paladin. But you know that he is nigh. And Civil and the 6 highwaymen, and a lot of you, have chosen to stay behind to distract the Paladins, to give Simon the Small and all the other survivors of Bastion a head start. They are heading to a place simply called Poil. That's all you know, and it is to the west. And this is where we pick up. We pick up in the remnants of the encampment.
Okay.
Ash is still softly falling from the sky. It's gray and overcast today, and despite the fact that the sun has risen beyond the clouds, the looming shadow of the cliff and the proverbial teeth, as they are called, the wooden palisade hundreds of feet above, like reach down almost like a giant maw ready to swallow all of you. This is the barrier that keeps the Red Death and Galleon from the Eastern Kingdoms. In fact, it's where you learn Pipistrella is from.
Right. She only told me.
They may have been around when we were having that conversation. Yeah, that would have been the first any of you would have known, but you might have had your suspicions because she's...
Kind of an oddball friend.
Yeah.
Espilson picks this stuff up from reading lips and body language.
Do you have a skill rank in eavesdrop, coincidentally? I was to ask you this.
I don't know. I don't think so. Wait, would that be under traits?
No, it'd be
It's a skill.
alphabetical
Eavesdrop.
order.
Yeah,
It's a
so-
skill.
Oh,
Drive.
yes, I do.
Nice. Eavesdrop is what you typically use to read to read body language.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Scrutinize is what you would use to percept intent behind words.
Okay.
The meaning behind the meaning behind the words. But eavesdrop is what you would use to be able to do that. So just a point of
Cool.
yeah, just so you know in the future.
But Pilson's from the west too.
Maybe.
I don't think we.
Are we not supposed to know the lore
Well,
in this campaign? I'm sorry.
You can suspect the lore. The challenge is that none of you remember anything. Like, you don't remember anything prior to awakening in the crypt where you recovered the sacred remnants. Like,
We still have not gained our memories back.
No, it's like
your complete amnesia.
Not complete amnesia.
Oh, okay.
But your history is cloudy. Like there's bits and pieces you remember, but it's not entirely clear yet.
Okay. Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
This is actually a really good setup because it allows us to kind of abandon one, because we may jointly know about the world lore, but things are different. And plus it sets us up to let Paige and all of us experience something completely new.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can pull on old lore. You can feel free to do that and use that as a prompt for interaction.
Right.
Just know that a lot of your memories are very, very hazy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Got it.
So Poyle, P-O-Y-L-E.
Got it.
P-O-I-L.
P-O-I-L.
Yeah. I was just testing you guys. Thanks.
So, do we need to meet with Civil?
You can see that the old arms master is sitting on a stone, or sitting on top of a rock. He is on kind of a low overhang amid a thicket of trees. He's resting on the rock. He's a man with old graying beard and these very kind eyes. His cane is resting across his lap, and you can see that beneath of his rough spun, you can see bits and pieces of mail armor underneath of it. Looks a bit like David Seaworth, if you're familiar with Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. Kind of close cropped hair, salt and pepper beard, but very kind eyes. Very kind eyes.
So what's your plan?
Well, he says, he's kind of surveying the encampment. I suspect that when the Brass Paladin comes, he will come from there. He picks up his cane and he points across the encampment, and you can see amid this ashen-strewn field there are these freestanding pillars of an old collapsed building, like tall pillars, soaring pillars, where some still stand. This is where the road comes through to the encampment. From here, we could get good vantage should he approach from that direction. Should he come from the west, as he points to his cane toward where you can still see the wagon train of Bastion departing, that would be a different story. Fortunately, we have the shadows of the teeth, as he raises his cane behind him, and this cups the trees behind us. So, when the paladin comes, and who he comes with, we'll have no choice but to pass through here. And he points down toward the encampment from the escarpment. We have advantage up here, but not many can stand up here.
Well, we learned something.
Do we know why he's after us?
We're alive.
Doesn't matter between him and Simon the Small. I cannot say. I owe my life to Simon, and I'm willing to lay it down for him and the others to live.
Same. That's why we're here. Bastion should live on.
What did we learn beforehand?
The Red Death. We fought them, as we told you.
Oh, yes.
They will return to unlife or reanimate themselves. You have to set them on fire.
Aye. The damned walk freely in Galleon.
When you kill them, you have to set them on fire, or they will come back.
Come with me. Let's go to the fire. Warm up a bit. I have a few things to talk with you about.
Okay.
He kind of walks off the rock and kind of comes down off the escarpment and begins to head toward where the large bonfire had been burning for 2 weeks here. And you can see it's still blazing, not hot, but low. The husks that wonder about Galleon. Simon, speak to ye of the soul and the spirit.
He did a little bit. I don't know if I don't know how much of that I believe.
He places his hand upon Toma's over his chest on his heart. Right here. Feels the warmth of his hand and his kind blue eyes. This is where the spirit lives. Not the soul, but the spirit. That which allows us to take in the ether and to move and live. The damned, their souls have departed, but their spirit remains, hardened like salt. In the center. Pick it up and taps you in the center of the chest. You've seen this before, I trust. In the corpses.
I'll hold one of the balls up.
When the damned are quieted, the spirit hardens like a rock. Calcified soma, as Simon's come to call it.
So, when we were down below, we came across the damned. Does he travel in concert with them? Does he work in concert with them? Because we went into his estate, right?
We did.
Do you
And they're
think
all there.
Do you think he would bring them here?
We don't know.
We've heard the rumbling of the paladin's hooves. We have seen his brass armor on the horizon. We have seen that he walks with torchbearers. And torchbearers always bring husks. You'll know them by the torch they bear above their head. Cursed as they are, the husks always follow behind, and the torchbearers serve the paladin.
Well, if you'd let me have one of those, I could put it to use in keeping them at bay.
You can have all of them.
Aye. A moment before you commit to such an action. Simon has taught us much of Galleon. Some of its secrets, some of it shared with others. And I think it's time that you understand one of the first secrets of Soma. This spirit, that which allows us to move, that provides locomotion for the damned, it can be used in desperate situations. He extends his hand to take one of the Soma from you.
Okay.
Spillicent has many of them, but I am not going to say that there's one.
We were carrying. You're carrying the. Your sheet has all of it.
I have 6, but I'm going to kind of take one and hide it and just be like, here's all the Somas.
I was just gonna hand you one.
How many do you have?
None. You have every one of them.
Okay. I just want to keep one to myself and not tell.
Oh
Dude.
boy.
My lady, listen true. The first secret of Soma. Crush it in hand when the time is right, and you will be filled with vigor that you have never felt before. But be wary. That old spirit, its tendrils still linger here between now and forever.
Curious.
That is the first secret of Soma. So, you have all learned a secret. In fact, the first secret of Soma, you all gain this. If should you choose to use Soma in this fashion, you may do this.
So is the corruption what you're just talking about is what is lingering?
Yeah.
So we'll be like, yeah.
So what's the effects, Nick?
Ooh.
I'm pretty.
Crush the calcified soma in hand to add 1d6 to weapon damage and 1d10 to fire and magic damage for 1 hour. You gain 9 corruption as a result.
All right. I mean,
To quiet the damned. Well, if Galleon is ever to return to the way it was, if it ever could, they must be quieted. And among the damned you will find the Soma.
Are the torchbearers living?
fashion, I suppose. They wear the skins of us, hardened from the weather. The husks desire nothing more than to live inside us, to reclaim their soul by eating ours, to fight their way into our very bodies.
Yeah, we saw that.
The torchbearers stand above the husks. The torch is a symbol of victory. You'll know them. You will see their hardened skin as they wear the suits of men. Given like so much stuff.
You killed the torchbearer? Does it discourage the other ones?
Can I say I've ever met? I've never fought the torchbearer before.
So the torchbearer wears people?
Aye.
You saw them trying to get into us.
You saw that they were capable of even without anyone around to guide them. No torchbearer in the husk that we fought.
No.
Yeah.
They seem okay to not bothering you too much as long as you don't disturb them.
Yeah, that's
They don't
true.
like loud noises.
But I don't want an army after us. An army of them.
How do you kill the torchbearer?
He's never fought one.
Your guess as good as mine.
Do you have an idea of, I guess,
Say what you mean.
I'm trying to think of, they have like a flame, and they have a husk. Maybe we throw them together.
Aye.
I think the first thing I'd try is stick the pointy end inside him.
The husk is certainly vulnerable to fire. If you don't, they will not be quieted properly.
I wonder
They
if
will clamber to their feet.
if the torch goes out, maybe it will weaken them. Maybe the torch has some kind of hold on them.
I wouldn't count on it.
I don't know.
The light is a beacon meant to attract other husks on their endless death march across Galleon.
So put out the torches with the husks.
To kill them. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever it is. Take their soma.
To quiet the soul. To quiet the spirit. Sorry, correction. To quiet the spirit is the way that we know to take the husk down, as for the torchbearer cannot say. The Red Death's curse persists.
I think the most important.
So, but we know that. So, if we crush this, we release that thing's spirit, and then it haunts wherever we use it for the rest of time.
That memory will haunt you, yes. The tendrils that continue to fight to stay behind. Bereft of a soul, the spirit is wild, unkept, unchained. Imagine what you would be like if you had no soul.
I can't.
Even in the godless lands, he concludes, the spirit is still important.
The Brass Paladin is our primary foe. He's unrelenting. The husks, they'll lose their way. Their legion, there'll always be more of them. But the Brass Paladin, he comes after us with a purpose. We take him out, and Bastion's safe. At least for now.
Is anything else at all known about the Brass Paladin other than he's been after us?
Perhaps a night's rest will unlock some of our old memories.
They protected these.
I can help with that.
Was a keeper of the sacred remnants. Charged by the Mercators for some important task, that's for sure.
And we
Before
saw
the Red
on the
Death.
walls. You saw on the walls.
Yes.
He was raised from a common farmer to become what he is.
Yes, that is-
So saith the triptychs in the temple.
That is a very familiar story to me somehow. Yes, as soon as I saw it, it's almost as if I had been told that when I was younger. Although it didn't match up, like something in my memory didn't match up right. I don't know what exactly though. But there is some familiarity.
Memory.
You can't trust everything you read in a book.
Do we have time to rest?
We suspect that if they are to come, it will be tonight.
Night.
About what time is it now?
Midday.
At least we'll see him coming.
Well, I guess we should rest then.
Should you survive, should we survive, I suggest that you speak to Beatrix once we arrive back, once we come to Boyle. She is with Bastion. She's a bookbinder. She has, he scratches his head, helped me remember things.
Beatrice the bookbinder.
Guess what, Tim? You get your first card. Here's Beatrix. Beatrix!
Beatrix.
Beatrix Kiddo.
I got to read on this guy. Obviously I don't know him,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been listening to him talk for some time. We'll see if he's been trying to mislead us or something like that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a standard scrutinize test.
Okay. Alright, so that's a 58% chance to succeed. And that is a success.
It seems that he's being honest enough, at least. Maybe he's holding something back because he knows he's about to die. Maybe something else is foremost in his mind. Whether or not he and the others will survive. Your relationship with Civil has been, well, civil. That is why he is called that. As with many others here in Bastion, he has forgotten his name.
Are you all familiar with the custodian?
Oh, you talking loosely about this person.
I know of her.
Well, then you may remember that she is the goddess of death, dreams, and prophecy. And so, if we're wishing to have good dreams, I would like to know if I could say a prayer to her.
My sleep tonight will be dreamless. I've taken some. I'm going to be taking this opium that Alma gave me.
So that's not a no.
I wouldn't begrudge your prayer. Have at it.
Thank you. And like she like touches you on the arm, not like hitting on you, but just like a familiarity that is kind of strange for a religious person. She actually looks kind of excited and digs in her belongings and pulls out a censer and some incense, and she starts to light it and burn it, and it smells of jasmine, and she kind of spins in a circle, and the censer kind of makes this weird pattern that she's developed from spinning it, and the incense surrounds us all as she starts praying to the custodian, as she's praying for the blessing of restful dreams.
Espillicent kind of steps back away from it.
Okay. Do the two of you stay?
Yeah. Anything can help. I don't have
It's not
much,
going to hurt me.
I don't have much belief in anything, but
What's the difficulty?
It's going to be standard.
it smells good.
Sorry, routine, my apologies.
I don't.
Routine. Incantation, I've got that. And 76.
Just critical.
77.
Critical failure.
Oh my god.
Explain to me what happens on a critical failure.
Oh, cool.
You do not recover peril from sleep.
Okay.
Oh.
We weren't going to.
Way to
You
go.
do not recover any peril from sleep.
Glad I backed away.
Yeah.
So you're going to try to get some winks in before preparation this evening. What about yourself, Espilison? What do you want to do?
I don't need much sleep. I tend to kind of the warrior in me wants to just be at the ready, and so I kind of keep my eye in the distance. I'm relaxing, but I'm not sleeping.
Got it. Okay.
I will take my opium and get my 40 winks.
Same.
Quick point of clarification on opium before you decide to take it. I think you should know something, because if you're not going to recover barrel, that may not be a good idea.
Oh, okay.
So, opium, to clarify, whenever you take opium, I need to find the chapter here. Why am I drawing a blank? There we go. After ingestion, you fall unconscious for an hour. Actually, nothing. That's it. You can
Okay.
take it, though.
Yeah.
I'll take it then.
Okay.
Yeah, what the spell is supposed to do is allow you to recover to unhindered no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if we're sleeping in an unsafe place, which I would call this an unsafe place, you know, we would have been able to get to unhindered.
Bad
But,
luck.
yep, 1% off made all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a deep sleep, especially if you get a corruption because you took opium.
Mm-hmm.
As for the rest of you, the day will carry on, and we kind of move quickly to the next 6 hours. And by the time you awaken, it's dark.
Do we recall anything of our past lives on Mars?
You slept so deep from the opium, and
I
it was
even
fairly
nodded
restless, and nothing really comes to you. You awaken to the rumbling of thunder across the horizon, and you can hear the thicket of trees kind of leafless rattling together. Every once so often, you can see a flash of lightning on the horizon.
Let's pray the brass paladin's horse breaks its ankle in the mud, and the lightning strikes his ridiculous brassy armor.
It is dark, and although it is the season of ash, there is not any rain that's fallen yet, but the encampment is now cast in the light of this huge burning bonfire, like a massive burning bonfire from where you were before. You could feel the heat coming off of it. Not far from where you're at, you can see these standing pillars that Sybil spoke about across the encampment, where torches have been affixed into 5 of the 6 standing pillars. The highwaymen kind of meander about the encampment. Sybil is with a lantern on top of the top of the rocky escarpment where he was before, where he was sitting with his cane in his lap. You could hear him kind of rhythmically using a whetstone over his blade up there.
So I had dozed off just a scotch, but the storm really revved me up. The fire has me just like worked up right now. So
Okay.
I'm on alert.
Okay.
Just for no reason.
Will
other
you
than
watch
environment.
So the question is, if you're kind of keeping watch, do you want to watch to the west where the caravan left to? Or do you want to watch to the east toward the ruins where Sybil believes the paladin will come to?
I'm kind of watching towards the pillars. That's just where my attention was really drawn to.
I would like to do something in preparation for the coming battle.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my grave digger's spade to dig some human-sized holes from the direction where we think the paladin may be coming. It's kind of a way to funnel them in one direction. So each hole will take me about 5 minutes to dig.
Oh, nice.
So Since it is a human-shaped hole, I'd like to dig it not like horizontal, but vertically down. So if someone were to step into it,
I can't do that because it digs graves, not
it digs
holes.
graves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the
human-sized
grave
hole,
digger's
okay.
spade will dig a human-sized hole for you to lay someone to rest. It is, of course, a grave digger's spade.
Okay. Well, I will do that anyway.
Okay.
In the hopes that we can kind of make it to where Pipistrella and I can kind of coordinate with her warding spell in the holes to like make it so we will have a better chance at better odds in the coming fight.
So this is where? Are you sure?
I reckon. I wouldn't call myself a master of warfare, but this is my best guess. I can
If
try.
we're making all the preparations that direction, I'm going to be looking the other direction.
The west.
Is this where we should? Like, she...
I will try. I will, if I need to make a warfare test.
Yeah.
I will attempt to make my best guess.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make a routine warfare test.
Okay. So that will be a 52% chance to succeed, flip to fail, and that is a critical fail.
A critical fail.
Yes.
Oh, that's 2 critical failures already tonight.
Yeah, we're
Well,
starting off
we're
Wow.
right. Starting off right.
Maybe that's why my character's already like
On edge?
stressed out because I knew how bad this was gonna
The
get.
storm has got me.
Yeah.
Got me
You're
worried.
You're a bit shook. So he's obviously told you what his intention is to do. You're all a little uncertain of it, but he's a bailiff after all. Maybe he knows what he's doing.
So,
Of course, I know what I'm doing.
I'm limited to, let's see here, a 3-yard line. So I'm just going to find some places where, we're thinking they're coming from. And then if there's like pillars that are 3 yards apart, then I can do that. Or if it's a hole in a pillar or something like that, I can do this 3 times total. That's how many reagents I have. So.
How wide is this road?
Well, it's a very, very old path. It's clear that one time this was these kind of irregular shaped cobblestone that was laying across to form a highway of a sort. It's maybe 10 feet wide. It actually passes between the ruins of the building, and the road was built after the ruins were here.
10 feet wide.
10 feet, that's
Roughly.
1 foot bigger
Roughly.
than... Oh, okay.
Roughly, to be clear. Roughly.
That's if it's only 1 foot, you have to defend.
Well, I mean, they may or may not cross anyway. It's hard
Sure.
to say. Yeah, but yeah. So she will go ahead and lay that down.
Already?
Huh?
Do we want to wait to lay that down when we know what direction they're actually coming
How
from?
long? They were waiting for what?
I
It
see.
lasts for what? 8 hours? You said.
Yeah, but then she was like, I suppose we would see them coming from a long way away.
And what direction they'll be coming from. I'm going to concentrate, and I'm going to step away from the bonfire so I can see further.
Anything you want to do in preparation besides watch the east? You do have spells.
Well, I was trying to figure out. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what things are still. So I don't think I have any spells that can do anything. Because I got Hush and Witch Sight. That doesn't do anything right now. I really have no way other than just being on. What's Yellow Tabard again?
I'm sorry, was that again?
Yellow Tabard? I forget what that
It's
is.
like a shirt type thing.
Yeah, it's like a big piece of cloth with a hole in it that someone wears over their
It's
back
like
and the front.
it's kind of like the medieval equivalent of like a letterman's jacket.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's a really good description.
Perfect. Okay, I really don't have anything that I can do other than just be really watching what's going on. I find myself kind of staying away from everyone a little bit and kind of keeping an eye on what's going on and being involved, but I'm also keeping like a side eye.
Okay, so
no.
maybe amid the ruins as opposed to close to the encampment? To the
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going too far away, but I'm not staying very close. I'm kind of like skirting the edge of both.
Okay. So eyesight. Can you both want to be within eyesight of the bonfire?
I do, but I want to be at least so I can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know the bonfire is going to.
And I have my question
Yes.
as Paige. So I have a mask of fear, but I have this whole list of masks.
No, you have but one mask. The mask
So
of fear.
how do I get other masks?
You don't.
Oh, so
The
you only have one.
That's correct.
So
that
my
mask
character-
so that mask was important for some reason to the Siabran kindred you were with.
Okay.
It was
I
representative
see.
of the ancestor that you worshipped.
It's almost
I
like
see.
part of your face.
I knew that because it was saying that it gets changed with certain things, so I didn't know if I would have a mask to change.
If you give me that sheet, I will create a visual aid for you to remember what you have by removing everything but the mask of fear.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, I think
Yeah.
what threw me off was
So what you can do with this, I think that, once again, to kind of help you kind of keep things in one place, I think you should tape this. And I think there's tape around here somewhere.
I have my folder.
Yeah, you should. Here's
Okay,
tape.
so I guess I didn't read this. So you have a headdress or mask that embodies a single expression important to your kindred. So
Can I see your character sheet real quick?
this
character sheet. Yes, your folder split. So what we're gonna do to kind of fix this
okay,
is
that I
actually
was
just
stuck on.
we're
That.
just gonna place this on your sheet,
Okay,
so you always remember that you have it.
I like visuals, so
Yeah.
that makes more sense now. So because I was getting confused on that. So my mask of fear, which I like.
So this is technically a talent or a trait. You actually already had it here. You had it written down.
I had it written down,
was gonna
but I was imagining it as a like a tool in my kit where I could take. In my head, I would eventually have another mask, and I would switch in and out of the mask.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
No.
okay.
So to be clear, all mechanically, all ancestries get one ancestral trait. That means not all dwarves are good at axes. Not all elves are great at using bows. Things like that.
I remember that. Okay.
There's no monoculture thing like that. But specific to the kindred your Siabra was a part of, the ancestor whose name you don't remember.
Right.
The mask of fear is what the kindred wore.
Okay.
So as a human, my ancestral trait is danger sense. So whenever I would be surprised, I could spend a fortune point and then take my turn instead. So that's the bonus that I get. And then your mask is the bonus that you get.
Right. Okay. That makes sense now. I was in a whole different headspace with the masks, thinking about how that affected me. But I now that makes more sense, and I'm able to kind of hone in on a few little characteristics a little bit easier because I was going, how is this gonna work? Okay. Page go. Spell this into back.
So you're kind of waiting at this point, watching for what may happen. Clovis, where are you? Oh, sorry, my apologies. So Clovis is to the west, Espilin is to the east amid the ruins. What about Toma?
Oh, I was just digging.
Okay,
Just
so you're
digging.
near the ruins.
Near the room.
Okay, and then what about yourself, Pipistrella? Are you also near the ruins?
Yeah, I mean,
I'll give you a turn on the shovel if you want.
she'll
Can't do it.
Oh, it's mine.
Sacred remnants can only be ensconced,
yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
it's a
right,
ritual
right,
to
right.
ensconce it.
she'll just start digging like it's an ordinary shovel.
Oh.
And she just starts putting her back into it, not really complaining or anything, but
This
she's not making much progress.
Maybe I should just take over. Right?
Oh, are
Something-
you
You
sure?
didn't quite right.
Something you have learned, something you remembered when you were in the crypt, and you don't remember ensconcing any of these remnants to yourselves. It is literally a ritual to be able to utilize, to unlock this power of this remnant, this ancient power that's tied to it, and you know that you can only ensconce but one to yourselves. That ritual is known both to Aspillicent and Pipistrel, the ensconcement ritual. That is how, if you discover more sacred remnants, you can bind them literally to yourself, to your spirit.
Like this?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
So I can have more than one.
Not right now.
Well, essentially, like eventually.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can certainly carry more than one, but
Is my
you
thimble
cannot.
also one? Because I have that for Hush. I brought it.
No.
No, that's just us.
To be clear, just to be clear, sacred remnants are magic items. They're relics that only you can use only one after undergoing the ensconcement ritual. You can carry as many as you like if you, for some reason, you find more, but you can't take advantage of them unless you ensconce it to yourself. And when you ensconce a ritual, once you ensconce one sacred remnant, the other one cannot be utilized until you ensconce it again.
Interesting. Okay.
You can only ensconce your sacred remnant once every 24 hours.
Okay.
Should you reach intermediate tier, you can ensconce two.
Can we say ensconce just one more time for us?
What do you do with this? You ensconce it.
What does Passeri's Ren do for you?
It lets me go,
Okay.
and then I go like that,
Yeah, tell secrets.
and then it goes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Tweet, tweet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
so the two of you know that ritual. Should you encounter, or should you find either sacred remnants? But for now, you have taken these things from the Temple of the Brass Paladin. It's where you learned that the damned seem to meander about aimlessly until awakened by loud sounds. And at some point, as you will awaken and begin your preparations, you can see that Sybil is still on top of the escarpment, and he's watching to the west. And you're beyond the bonfire, out in the fields, kind of watching out that way. Toma, you're still digging holes. Aspillicent, you're amid the ruins, and then Pipistrel is out there as well. So, at some point, with an hour or two, you see light out on the horizon to the east. Out in the darkness, I should say.
No?
I kind of realize that there's something, and I turn to look at it.
Yeah. Well, it's pitch black out there. Where you're standing, you're amid these tall, stony pillars that are burning with these kind of torches. You can see what looks like a pair of lights kind of bobbing out in the distance. Maybe, gosh, who knows how far out. Imagine seeing a campfire through the woods.
Are they bobbing simultaneously, or are they bobbing like that? Like, can you tell that there's two, or maybe there's two things on one?
Yeah, so you can roll a challenging scrutinize test to see if you can intuit that.
Okay. Challenging 50, and then I roll this one. Is that right?
Sorry. You roll percentiles and the D10. So this one too.
So it's 50, and I got 65.
You can retry it if you want to spend a fortune point.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Okay, thank you. I'll take that.
53.
You're really unsure. I mean, the lights are pretty far out there.
Okay.
From where you're at, from where you're kind of looking at, you can feel that Pipistrel is behind you, and then of course Toma is still digging holes, but you don't see Clovis.
Okay. I'm gonna look around and see if anyone notices the lights.
No.
No one notices the lights. Okay, who's closest to me?
Well, Pipistrel is, of course.
Hi. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
She's wearing her wimple. You two can see the lights out there.
What?
I take my claw and I go.
She rubs her eyes. Oh, hey, Tama.
Hmm?
There's 2 lights.
Looks out in the distance.
You can see 2 bobbing up and down.
Should I draw the lines?
Let's draw the lines. I'll find Clovis.
Here, and here.
Your reckoning as good as mine.
So,
You
depending
cast
on-
it between the pillars.
yeah.
You're casting it multiple times.
Well, it would just be however much it would take to like basically try and do the best I can to
Coverage with.
yeah,
you know.
with the
What's the okay?
I have 3 reagents that are expendable and that each segment is 3 yards wide.
Okay.
So she would try to find like 2 items that are solid, like 2 pillars or something like that, and do her best to do some coverage. But she's not a tactician, so whenever if something happens, you can just put them there. And
Okay.
we'll see
Okay.
what happens. So.
Okay. Well, the wind tugs a bit at your clothing. You're still out on the western horizon. No one's notified you at this point, Clovis. You're a little unsure what's going to happen, but it's going to be a challenging test for your first one.
Okay, so then she's gonna be praying and no reason to reach out to other gods yet.
Okay.
And so challenging is going to be 56%. And an 89 won't do it.
The salt
How
kind of
many
it's
fortune points do we have?
we have
Maybe.
3 left.
Should I do it?
Do it.
All right, I'm gonna
Okay.
reroll at 56%.
Reach into the.
Thank you.
I like that. Where'd you
And
get it?
a 13 is a success.
Okay. You lay the salt across the ground and you sing the hymn, and it seems to work.
Okay, so
You all can see those from among the encampment can see a very faint blue line along the ground, a barrier.
whatever you do, don't cross it.
I think I'm gonna go get Clovis.
I was already getting him.
Oh, you already? Oh, okay.
Almost breathless, Tama approaches you, Clovis.
They're coming. Way off in the distance. See them? The fires.
Alright.
So you think here's the next one? Next good one?
I found a good
Yeah.
spot then. I'll pull out my crossbow.
Do you want to be down in the encampment, or do you want to be up with Civil in the forest, in the overlook? Or do you want to be in the ruins? Basically, you have 3 places to choose from.
I'm gonna go in the ruins because I'm gonna have to burn bodies at some point.
Okay. So I set up with your crossbow in the ruins then. What about yourself?
I'll do the
Tama?
same. I will ready my hunting bow and prepare for the coming.
Okay.
I'm sticking with Pipistrella, and I think I have a staff. I'm just gonna have my staff ready, and I'm gonna hang out with Pipistrella.
Pipistrella, you cast your next spell.
Yep.
Okay. It's going to be challenging.
Challenging. Didn't have a reason to start praying to other gods yet, so we'll go with 56%. And a 72 won't do it. We're going to let it fail this time.
Okay.
And then the last time, she's going to pray to the steward and the martyr and all of them, even though this is a prayer specifically meant for the custodian, as she's going to channel for 2 steps.
Okay. Go ahead and it makes it a routine test, and roll 2d6 chaos dice with
Yep.
it.
This is gonna be fun, as it's gonna be 76. No
place my-
sixes.
I place my staff, and I just watch.
A 30% success.
Nice.
So 2 of them were successful.
So with the completion of that next spell that is a kind of faint blue line, which leaves a gap, unfortunately, amid the ruins. You can see at first this pair of lights, and as they kind of get closer to your military minds, in the case of Clovis, you realize the light is a little too high, like it's not held in front of somebody. And as they grow closer, you can see this arm that's been twisted and wrenched out of its socket at a gross angle, almost like a shepherd's crook. This torch is being held aloft by this thing that's covered head to toe in buzzing gnats. But the smell of lilies still seem to smell something's coming from that direction. And with those two torchbearers, you realize they must be the torchbearers that Sybil was talking about. There is a throng of husks, the folk who look like their flesh has been stripped away and there's only muscle beneath it, just the thin muscles you would see of somebody instead of an anatomy book, walking very slowly but in concert together. And directly behind them, at first you don't see him, you only hear the soft clop, clop, clop of like these heavy iron shod hooves. And then you could hear the clattering of plate and armor on the back of this massive storm horse. And the light of the torches of the torchbearer reflect back into fleeting shadows upon this massive man who's wearing this full plate, munitions plate helmet and armor that looks like tarnished brass, like brass that hasn't been polished in ages. Yet it still seems to capture the light, and almost like there's this kind of golden look to him as the brass paladin is directly in their wake. He seems to hold a fist outward and snaps his fingers. You can hear the metal scrape against metal, and the torchbearers stop. And the husks stop right in the midst of the ruins. Not too far from where you're at.
Pipistrella says, "Greetings."
The torchbearers kind of look to one another, like with this strange cleverness to them. And they kind of step aside with the torches kind of wrenching over. And you can see the husks kind of fall almost in league with them, like bees following behind their queen. They part, creating almost like a curtain of flesh opening up. And the brass paladin begins to slowly ride forward between them, leaving them behind him. He's maybe 5 yards now from where you had lain the spell. Hail! You hear kind of ring from beneath the helmet.
Name is Pipistrella Claviger.
The visored helmet, you can't see his eyes or his face. There's just a beaked helmet with like these vicious looking slats inside of it, and these holes, like breather holes. You can hear him breathing in the metal. Simon the Small.
Simon is not here.
Where hath he gone?
He's gone onward. But I have a few questions for you. If you'd grant me a moment.
I've no quarrel with you, Claviger.
I kind of position myself closer to Pipistrella.
Okay. The two of you are in the ruins too? Mm-hmm. Are you hidden? There's a lot of long shadows around here. There's a lot of long shadows. Yeah. Do you want to try to hide as well?
I mean, if it's free.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not fighting at this point, but you have, because the ruins, like, it's dark out. and the torches don't really cast a lot of good light, and there's long shadows of the pillars, and the bonfire is like 14 yards behind you in the encampment. And as you look over your shoulder, you can barely see the glint of the metal inside of Civil's cane as he locks it in place, and you can start to see that the highwaymen are kind of fanning out amid the encampment, and they too are staying in the shadows, leaving only the two of them in the light.
Okay.
The two of you are going to hide. It's an easy stealth test. What were you? I'm sorry. What were you doing, Phyllis?
I'm just standing closer to
success.
Pipistrella. I'm just kind of in
Third tonight.
Did you roll a critical failure?
I did.
Oh my god!
I succeeded.
Oh wow! Holy moly!
Yep.
Wow, that's okay.
Hopefully we're getting them all out now.
Yeah. So,
I obviously kick some rocks.
yeah, you kick some rocks and kind of you kind of spill out almost, not like comedically whoop, 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 like in the middle of like the light, but you misinterpret where the shadows really are at, and maybe the winds shift and the torchlight moves, and you suddenly find yourself kind of naked and exposed in the light as you realize you've got your crossbow. Is that right?
Yep.
Crossbow.
Arbalest crossbow.
Arbalest. Oh yeah, the fucking big one, like the one that takes like the crank and the strip to to lock a bolt into, like a big crossbow. This is the version of the Arnold Schwarzenegger like gun from Predator.
Yeah.
That's like it's an armsman's crossbow that you would find on somebody who would be on the top of like a mantelet or a wall defending against invaders. Something that you stole a long time ago. It is of Gintish make, but this did not belong to you.
When that happens, Pipistrella will try and speak up right away and say, surely you didn't think I would stand here without some semblance of protection while I try and talk with you.
I kind of I have flowy clothes on, so I kind of, when Pipistrella speaks up, I kind of flutter it to kind of create a sound to maybe distract him back and
Oh yeah.
ruffle the noise up so that they're not distracted.
Yeah, so you do that. And normally I would just be like, hey, roll an intimidate test. Unfortunately, he critically failed. So
I tried.
You see that the brass paladin's kind of beaked brass helmet kind of looks toward Clovis and toward Pipistrella and Aspillicent, but it's very clear that Tomas has found the right place to hide.
At least one of us did.
What are thou words?
Well, you were originally not from these lands. Am I correct?
There's a pause, like a pregnant pause. I am from beyond the teeth,
Yes, so am I.
but I am forsworn to Galleon.
Well, as a paladin, I would not try to dissuade you from what you were sworn to. And you are a servant of the gods, no?
The gods are dead, he says.
That's what I'm often told. But I do not believe they are.
How dost thou find thyself amid Simon the Small?
I'm looking for my father. His name was Orwell Clappiger.
All the fathers of the war are dead and buried.
Perhaps so. I have yet to find his grave. Grave would be enough. Would you remember him coming this way? Last I heard, he went to Galleon.
Soil has been spilt from here to the city of Ghent. Many middling swordsmen have met their end at the end of another blade. You would be hard-pressed not to find a grave should simply one throw a stone. You would look among 1,000 graves before you would find your father's.
This is why I specifically looked for you. Because the last I had heard, yours was the last place he had went to.
there's something at his waist, Toma, that you immediately recognize. And there is this kind of like lightning strike of fear with the rumbling of the thunder. He bears the blade that has brought low many, many bloodlines. He bears a sword called Widowmaker. Thou hast traveled the wrong way. Ye are at the teeth, as he kind of raises a mailed arm toward the vast shadow beyond. Because obviously, in the middle of a storm, you can see kind of like the low-hanging clouds. But you can see this vast black shadow with literally the palisades of teeth, almost looking like a maw ready to swallow everyone here. Thou must look to the west.
I'm just standing as stoically as I can next to Pipistrella.
I appreciate your assistance.
Thou as an armsman, do you service Simon the Small? He looks toward Clovis at this point.
Are you gonna bark all night, or we gonna do this? Bap!
Oh, you're just gonna fire?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes!
Okay. So before you do that,
Spillicent just got a little.
we need to do something. Wow, I did not expect that. Okay. So here's what we're going to do.
I love
and
it.
this is everybody must assist with this, and you must do this very carefully.
Okay.
Everyone will grab an edge of the cloth. You will lift, and you will do not upset the camera above it.
Okay.
We will lift carefully, and we will bring it
We're folding it
toward. Fold it in. Don't hit the camera. Bring it toward me. And here's what we see.
Uh-oh. Oh, those are actually supposed to be folded.
Leave them there. That's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
And I think to make this right, we need to first.
Wow.
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 Is that the
It's my Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson has to say? Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing. So
That's
you will
pretty.
see that here's your burning fire. Next, you should see at the far end of the table there are 4 figurines.
Oh, yes.
One corresponds to each of your figures. These are just stand-ins until we can actually get full figures. So if you would
Which one do you want?
hand them to me, and I will place them where you kind of indicated where you're going to be.
Spillicent?
I figured that one was mine.
Yeah, it is. Has a wimple and stuff. Oops, sorry. This is you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had a big sword, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I got a big sword. I got a Zweihander. Yeah.
Hey, it came
Okay,
right.
so
I'm not gonna
that's-
complain. They give us an attractiveness.
Tomas.
Yeah.
Toma.
That's right.
Clovis.
Mm-hmm.
Pipistrella. And
That's
me.
Millicent. Yeah. And I will rotate this around here real quick. You see right here's where your fortune tokens are.
This is cool.
Inside the mimic. And then for everybody else, well, he's right about here. Our torchbearers are at his flank, like so. And 5 husks are kind of behind.
Are these the actual pieces, or these are just stand-ins?
They're close enough, like with all things.
Yeah.
So, I will first note that because Toma chose to dig a ton of graves around here, and there's a lot of long shadows and light in the torches, that if you choose to use a movement action, anytime you move, anywhere on the map, you must succeed a coordination test, or else fall into one of these
great.
pits. I'm not going to mark the pits because there's just
Yeah, we can abstract it.
we can abstract it exactly.
That makes it easy.
It should, yeah, it'll make it a little easier. And to be fair, I
have
think
to do
we
it
will.
too.
I think we will. We'll
They
be a
don't even
little
know
more
where
specific.
I have no idea where they are.
We will say that they're only in the runes. So should you decide to move backwards or something like that,
Back
you're not
towards the
going
fire.
to risk anything.
Okay.
So my recommendation now, before we do any dice rolling, is for everyone to pull out their actions and combat sheet. Because remember last time in a fight, we used abstracted distances and stuff. Now we have actual figures we can move, and we're going to teach Paige. Yep, we're going to teach Paige a little bit about how to use figures on a board, because it is different than abstraction. The first thing you need to know is basically it's like chess. If you are going to move your figure, once you take your fingers off your figure on the board, that is where they stay. Okay. There's no take backsies on that.
Okay.
But we'll work through that with you because your battle buddy is going to be Adam.
Okay.
And it looks like at this point...
But you can also do this. Dan, can I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this? And he'll say, yeah, you can move like that, but you can't move diagonally.
Yeah, no diagonal movements on the board. So that's another important thing to remember is that we never use diagonal movements because of spatial issues.
So no bishops.
That's correct.
Okay.
Correct.
No.
So, well, we know what's going to happen because it looks like...
Can I take a picture?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Clovis has
I've predetermined this.
chosen violence.
I'm so happy. Go ahead. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't want to
you were
be the
not-
one to do that, so I'm glad you did it.
You were not hidden.
Nope.
So you fire arbalist. So just determine your range from you to him. What's your distance on your arbalist? I'll tell you what the distance is right here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4,
9.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So you loose the crossbow bolt. Flies through the air. It's going to be a standard test.
Okay. Can I use my aim? Or is this considered I just pulled up and started shooting?
Well, I think that's a good question.
Yeah. I'd rather use
he kinda
punishing
tripped out
instead
into
of
it.
aim.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can do this however you want.
Does this count as a surprise turn for him?
It does not because he
Okay.
critically failed.
Gotcha.
So we basically the good thing is, Clovis, you're at the top of the initiative ladder. So tell us what you're going to do, spending your 3 action points.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and aim.
So take aim for 1 action point.
Yep, and fire.
Okay, so ranged attack. All right, so that makes it a standard attack. And then add your modifiers.
78. That's a critical success.
Holy moly!
And I am gonna use my other. I'm gonna enact punishing.
Nice.
So I'm gonna group myself 3d6.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm gonna change this one into a 6 because it's a 1.
So that's a
For the coin.
Well spent.
6, 12. There we go. 17 plus.
Combat.
Plus 6, so
23.
23.
Nice.
1 moment.
Oh, I meant to crush the thing before I started.
Well, shucks.
Because that would have been another.
How much damage you do?
23.
The bolt sings out, stink, hitting the armor. Brass Paladin's lightly wounded only.
Sounds right.
A ring for lightly wounded on the figure is what we'll use to kind of show that.
yeah. Yeah, I've had characters that would have been lightly wounded if I was wearing plate.
As the bolt bites into the armor, you realize he is wearing brass munitions plate. You've never seen munition plates made of brass before, by any means. But did you roll a critical success on that?
Yes.
Funny thing about brass armor. Sorry,
Soft metal.
it's only when it suffers an injury. Never mind. So brass quality, we'll talk about that later, but it doesn't do anything for crit success. It just adds your additional damage bonus, your damage die.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to do, Clovis?
It's all me actions.
Okay, I need to actually get initiative up on the board. The brass paladin has 10, has 21. So we're moving to the initiative ladder real quick right now.
How much was that?
21.
Hopefully your surprise gets him.
The torchbearers
We don't have enough things.
have 12. You could put them below Pipistrella.
We don't have enough things. You can just write it directly on the thing on the board.
And then the husks, you'll write on the board. So husks have it. Wow, 15? Yeah. So Clovis, you begin combat.
What about our allies?
So I have already accounted for them in the rolls. So you don't have to worry about anything with that. It's all going to happen behind the screen. The thing that's most important is what you all are doing.
No, we KB.
Yeah.
I was figuring on allies.
So,
Or maybe I wouldn't have started this.
the spell ascent.
Okay.
It's clear that
I
the
don't,
fight has come.
right, so I don't have really a lot. I have a staff. I have a Mask of Fear, which will help. I'm assuming, like, when I do some melee stuff. I don't think I'm ready to go up to them and try to start whacking them with my staff. So
So what you would want to do with that professional that ancestral trait is choose someone right away who would have that minus 20 base chance to use against you.
like, you mean one of these guys?
Yes, you're basically putting on your mask because it's go time, and then
Right.
you like point at someone essentially.
Brass Paladin.
Okay, so the brass paladin from now on will have a minus 20 base chance to use skills against you until they are defeated.
Okay.
So that's what your mask does.
Got it.
And that costs you 0 action points to do.
Got it.
Yeah, and if for any reason he's ever defeated, then you can choose another.
Okay.
Oh, that's like silly powerful.
Yeah. So you still have all 3 of your action points, and any of those 3 spells are they with something you're wanting to use? Okay.
I only have 2 spells, and they're not.
You have that other one.
This one?
Yeah.
That's a salve.
That's the name of the spell.
One bandage you touch.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can cast a spell on a bandage. Okay, so yeah, you have your staff. So like, if you were standing there in battle with the staff against this huge army, what would you do?
Hide behind Pipistrella.
Okay, so essentially take cover.
Yeah, I need to. Well,
You cannot take cover behind people.
I know. So
You can behind pillars and such, though. So
I
if we're
might-
not gonna flip to the.
I
to
might try to flank over here.
Okay. Yeah. So you want to hustle over there for.
I'm gonna hustle.
Okay. So what's your move range? So if you look over here, you have movement.
And you
7.
can move that many
Careful.
squares with
You can
one
move.
action.
Yeah, you can move up to seven squares.
I'm gonna hide behind this pillar here.
Okay.
This can hopefully people are gonna come in this way, so we can. I'm assuming y'all are gonna see me, specifically you, Clovis. Hopefully you'll
So
see me
real
over
quickly, above board.
Remember
You
to
have to
move.
do this in character if you're going
Oh!
to communicate battle plans
Gotcha,
to others.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So that's another rule. Once again, it's just because you don't know.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to communicate like a strategy with players at the
I see.
table, you need to do
I
it
see.
in character.
Okay, I'm gonna start over.
Okay, so you can't
Oh,
because
shit.
we talk about chess rules. So your
That's
character
right.
is moved. So
I
you
was
use-
gonna do the exact same thing, but
Okay.
in character.
Cool.
That's
okay.
what I meant.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wasn't gonna start again. I was gonna do it, but
Yeah.
get back into my brain.
Got it.
Okay, so I'm with Pipistrella, and I'm gonna. Is this is Clovis?
It is, yeah.
I'm-
Yeah.
So you hustle behind the pillar.
So that's
That's
one.
one action point.
So, are you trying to hide behind it or take cover behind it?
I think I'm taking cover, preparing for the bulk of the action to come in this way.
Right. So.
So I'm just kind of positioning myself at this point.
Got it.
Because I don't really have anything else I can do.
Right. So, she used a movement action, and we've got our special thing with all the.
That's right. So you need to roll a standard coordination test.
Coordination?
Mm-hmm.
57. Success.
All right.
Take cover as a movement action too.
Wait, what?
Sure is.
Yeah,
So do the same. So do the same thing again.
No.
I don't get it.
No, take cover is a movement action, so yeah, you would have to do it again. Because he said anytime you take a movement action.
Yeah, if you're moving it, if you're moving any distance. So
Okay,
moving
alright.
up to 1
Yeah,
yard.
Cool.
Because take cover, you can move up to 1 yard to take cover. But she hustled there, and then she's just
arrived
ducking
there and
down
moved.
for
Okay.
take cover.
Okay, gotcha.
And
Plus
take
one.
and take cover is how many action points?
Take cover is 1 AP.
1 AP.
Anything else you wish to do?
Where's take cover on here? Just so I know.
It's
Oh,
under
take cover. I
movement
see it.
actions.
I see it. Okay. Then I would. Let me look.
Do you mind if I give you a couple suggestions?
Let's do it.
Yes,
Okay. So you can either hold your AP, and that will allow you to dodge or parry if you should be attacked, or if you look under the last option under special actions, you can use something called words as weapons. So that allows you to use your skills to kind of say something to the enemy that may affect them in an adverse way,
Or your allies.
or your allies.
Or boost your ally.
boost your allies.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. Right now, so when you say that save your action, does that mean I get an extra action on the next
So
one? Can you explain that?
during your turn, if you have action points that you have not used, if someone
From
strikes
the
you
previous turn.
from the previous turn.
Okay.
So if say one of the husks came up to you and tried to strike you, you would have the option to try to dodge or parry that
Right.
So
attack.
you'd bank it.
Yeah.
Basically, you
Oh.
bank action points. You choose not to use the remainder of your action points.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that.
So
I do
bank,
like.
so you can bank 1 action point right now, because you get 3 action
Yes.
points when your turn begins.
So you can do a parry.
Right, if someone comes
Dodge,
up. And
yeah.
where is
Or
that
dodge.
on here?
You don't track that.
I
You
just-
at the beginning of your turn, you always have 3 action points. One thing you could do is you could use little stones to indicate if you have any banked. But I think you'll get accustomed to it.
Okay.
You'll get accustomed to this.
Yeah, this is
Anytime
gonna
you
take
turn-
me.
It's
I'm
okay.
trying to write
You're-
down everything
You're fine.
so I can
It's all
get in
good.
my head. Okay,
Yep.
got it. I'm gonna bank that one.
Cool.
I'm
So,
just gonna chill right there.
So, what you do at the end of your turn always is you hand off the baton. And that means you look at the initiative ladder and you tell that person it's your turn.
Hey, husks.
No, not in character.
Oh.
but, yeah. So you would say, it's the husk's turn.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
So always hand off the baton. That is your responsibility as players is to
this
communicate
is
everyone.
mostly for.
This is for us.
This is for everything
This is
all the time.
All the
Right.
time whenever we're
Okay.
in combat, you always hand off the baton. So
Got it. Okay.
So here's what we
Thanks,
here's
guys,
what we
I'm
know.
learning.
The husks literally cannot move forward amid the ruins, but they can come from be outside the pillars. So if we look toward where they're at on the far end of the battlefield, the torchbearers remain still, but they begin their kind of lumbering movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Man.
So did any of them cross the barrier?
No.
They went around the barrier.
They're going around the barrier. You can see this kind of faint blue line along the ground, and as they're moving, the torch bearers are kind of moving what would resemble the remnants of their mouth, it looks like. Almost as if they're directing the husks to do something. Almost like the brass paladin has no control over the damned. But the torchbearers hold their torches high above the air, and the husks' turns are over. So Tama, it's your turn. I pass off the initiative baton.
So they didn't walk.
That's
over
all
any
that happened.
corpses. Okay. All right. I will. Let's see. Trying to get a read on where everything
You
is.
can spin.
Is this bit of rubble here? Is this block line of sight?
Low rubble does not. No.
Okay. All right. So I will move.
That's me.
Oh, that's you. Where am I? I'm over here.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's-
Yeah, you can shoot from there.
I could shoot the paladin.
Here is your spell.
I don't know if that was our plan. Take it.
I know, I'm just
Yeah.
looking at my options.
Okay.
It was a good choice.
And
So-
just so you know, the reason they didn't cross it is because
One failed.
they can't cross it. Like, period. Any creature that's classified as being supernatural, unless they successfully resist with a resolve test. But they may not even be able to resist with a resolve test. So if anything that's supernatural wants to cross it, they need to make a resolve test.
Okay. Well, I guess I will shoot the paladin with my hunting bow.
Okay.
Difficulty?
Oh, you're heading.
Actually, do I have the range for that? I'm gonna double check that one. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I do. Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's
All of
good.
that.
I got you.
Put the torch back.
I am hidden. Yes.
That indicates where we have light. You know, you're in perfect light anytime you're near there or near the bonfire.
Okay.
I don't know.
You're hidden, so and it's surprise for you. Surprise. So it's an easy test.
Okay. All right. So easy test will make it 81% chance to succeed. Nope. And a 66 is a critical success.
Wow, we roll a ton of crits tonight.
Yeah.
So it's 1d6 for your weapon, 1d6 for surprise, 1d6 because you critted.
One more. Just one more.
666. Oh, 2 6.
All right. I'm going to use a fortune point to turn this into a 6.
Okay.
Nice.
You got 3 6s.
There's no fortune left.
No
You
fortune
spent it
left.
all.
So only 2 of those should have been rolled.
No, I rolled
You
two
rolled
sixes, and then I made the last one a 6.
There was no fortune.
There's no
left.
fortune
Oh,
left.
okay. So only 2. I'll just
Yeah.
I'll just re-roll it.
Yeah, there's no
Reverse
fortune.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both rolled 6.
Nice.
All right. So it was
18, 12, that's 20 points. And
plus 6 over 26, and then plus 5. What?
31.
So 31.
Nice. Okay. The bolt sinks in as the brass paladin is not moderately wounded. How much damage did he get? Sorry?
31.
30. He's seriously wounded.
Yeah.
You strike him.
Man, all those
Roll damage.
critical fails
Or sorry, you
were
roll
worth
damage.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I cannot believe you rolled
I know.
2
That was a-
6s
that was a
and then
godly
2
roll.
6s.
That was amazing.
Okay, so anything else you want to do on your surprise turn?
I will reload my weapon.
So load. Quick load?
No, just load.
Okay.
It's only 1 AP.
Okay. So now your turn is up on the initial ladder and you are no longer in surprise. What do you want to do?
I will bank my last AP.
Boy, wait a second.
That's a surprise action.
You're in your surprise turn.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So complete your surprise turn.
I'm done. That's it.
Okay. Now your normal turn begins. And
Oh,
you are
wow.
exposed.
All right.
Now they know where you're at.
All right. I will fire again.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. It's going to be a standard test.
Okay. That'll be a 61% chance to succeed, and 54 is a success.
Nice. Roll damage.
6.
It's a 6. 8 plus 5 is 13.
13.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used my fingers.
I had to think about it.
The as the arrow strikes your, it ricochets off of the brass armor as he remains seriously wounded.
I will reload.
1 AP. So be sure to clarify if you're loading.
I
Let
will
me know.
load.
Okay.
I will load.
Yeah. Okay.
And then bank the last AP.
Okay. Pass the baton.
Passing the baton over to Pipistrella.
Stralla's like surprised and scared that there's one of the damned this close, and this is now her second serious fight in her life she's ever been in. So she immediately goes for one of the Soma and is going to attempt to crush that, because she did take one to make more salt, but she's crushing it right now to gain 9 corruption.
Okay.
And the buff as well.
What were the dying words contained inside the Soma?
I'm sorry, I'll never do it again.
Whoa.
So now you gain 9 corruption, and now you may add that you may take advantage of that. Obviously, the calcified Soma.
Okay.
Be sure to mark it off your character sheet.
Yeah. So that is gone, as that does give me one more use of the salt that I am then gonna. Okay. Custodian, please bar them passage from here, as they're an abomination to you. And she's going to attempt to cast Beyond the Pale right here.
Oh, nice. Okay. And it's 3 yards. If I'm not mistaken, it's 3 yards.
Yeah. So I mean that's
It's 2.
2.
So here's how you'll go ahead and roll your test. It's going to be challenging.
Okay. She's got a 56% chance, and a 51 will do it.
Nice. So place your line. Nice. And we'll reflect these lines. It is a line.
Yeah.
So we'll use the blue. If it's only 2, then here, I'll just cut it and just make sure it's only 2 and just cut it.
Like,
Tear it. Don't leave it like that.
Okay.
Tear it. So it's flat. There you go.
Or do you have enough to go that way too?
no,
do
I
that.
can't go through. It has to be
line.
one contiguous line.
Yeah. Can't be a circle. Can't be a diagonal. Has to be a line.
So let's see. Was it any AP to crush the Soma?
Yes, I'm sorry. To crush to use calcified Soma to invoke the first secret, it costs 1 AP.
Okay, so then it was the second AP to cast the spell, and then she is,
I should have.
not really thinking about anything else. Then she's gonna draw out her sling for another AP and like load it and look back at Clovis like, what am I doing?
Okay.
Get back to the fire.
That's all her AP.
Wow.
As she's over, and the torchbearers are next.
Okay. Oh boy. The torchbearer's turn comes up. There is a cleverness among them. You can see the hides and skins hardened into people.
Owl.
What's that?
Owl.
Hoot.
It's just on the.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Don't worry about the camera. I'll control it.
okay got it.
The torchbearers, keeping the torches raised above their head, begin to move very swiftly. 1,
Oh boy.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they begin kind of breaking across the battleground as one finds their way almost immediately, almost face to face with you, Clovis, and the other face to face with you. Espilicent. My apologies. And it's clear that as they come close, like, they're taller than you anticipated. Like, if you were to look at their sheer height, their bodies have grown so emaciated and long. They stay. If you're sitting down and that's your character actually standing up, they're like this. They loom almost a head and a half above you. And as they kind of come toward you, one of them extends its hand out with a torch in hand. Only has one hand that's usable. As it extends the hand out to grab a hold of you with a chokehold, Clovis. It's a chance. Excuse me. It's 55%. This is its last action point, incidentally. dice. I rolled a 15. So it grabs you. Do you want to try to escape?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a standard athletics to escape being choked.
61. That's an 09. He does not touch me.
Nice. You manage to wrench free away from his grasp.
Hit him with my butt of my crossbow.
Get off me! Oh, I will spend a fortune point. And with this, it'll hold us towards you. As it will scream, and you could hear the thing's mouth just opens up. And there's this kind of like strange wind. You will need to resist using resolve, a challenging resolve test, to resist its death rattle.
64. Missed it by 1 point.
Oh, want to reroll?
Nope.
Okay. So you will suffer only 3 mental peril, but gain 3 corruption.
I will be
As you begin to
corrupted,
stress.
but I will not be falling.
The one that is toward you, as spell sent, it comes kind of rushing over toward you with torch extended out and swings it toward you. There's a 55% chance to hit. I rolled an 85. I don't think it's going to reroll. I'm going to save those fortune points as the torchbearer's turn is over, and it's now the brass paladin. So within the flash of literally with an instant, as you've loosed your bolt and everything kind of unfolds like within a minute, a moment's time.
You chose poorly.
Whang! At the beginning of its turn, the brass paladin draws the Widowmaker, and there's this story that immediately kind of like this spark, this memory inside of your mind, Toma. It said that the Widowmaker, it's a cursed blade that has passed numerous times between knights, soldiers, and squires. That every warrior who has held Widowmaker will perish in some gruesome fashion.
It's coming.
Yep. You know that it was forged from stars, and with every blow, it leaves its starboard metal behind, a remnant of a splinter, essentially. And he begins to storm forward on the back of the horse, and the spell does nothing, as he is not supernatural. He charges forward on horseback.
Did we roll for his injury earlier?
Nope.
We did not. We should probably do that. Roll 2d6.
So I know he's not supernatural, but they can cross it if they resist
There's
it.
a 6.
Oh.
So that
Who? Hold on. Stop. You rolled a 6 for your injury?
For his injury.
There's injury.
Who invoked the injury?
I,
Oh, okay. So,
actually, no, it's a weak weapon. Well, never mind. It's a weak weapon, so it's only...
would be serious. It would be serious.
It
Okay.
can't be.
It can't be serious. Right.
No, it can't be
Can't be grievous.
grievous.
It would be
can up to
serious.
serious.
Okay.
So, because that happened, you see this massive gaping hole in the armor. As he begins to ride, you see plates begin to fall off, and you can see the bolt stuck in his chest as the brass armor is literally ruined because he suffered an injury.
Even better.
That's even better than the injury.
So yeah, sorry, Dan.
That's okay.
I don't know if I made it clear. They can cross if they resist with.
So I'm aware of that.
Okay. All right, cool.
But they are mindless, and mindless creatures have no willpower, therefore they can't make resolve tests. So they literally cannot pass over that.
Okay.
But not all supernatural creatures are mindless.
Right.
Of course.
He, however, is not. But thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
That's why they're going around. So he charges for it.
Does he actually get the injury, though? Or is
1,
that
2. There is no injury.
Okay, gotcha.
This time, at least. 3, 4, 5. He's charging forward on horseback, and he has his weapon aimed high. So he spends 2 AP to charge. He'll spend his final AP to take aim, and I will spend this fortune point to strike down toward Clovis with Widowmaker.
Thanks.
Because of the particular qualities of Widowmaker, I am going to roll my dice in the open.
Okay. I believe if you didn't.
So, my chance to hit is 80%. 57. He hit.
Oh boy.
Do you want to try to parry?
I can't.
Okay.
No AP.
I used all my AP.
Okay.
We have some.
Oh, then I will try to parry.
Okay. It's hard.
Well, that's okay, because I have a really good chance.
What are you parrying with? A crossbow?
Crossbow.
Okay. It's arduous.
Why? It's a Arbalest. It's huge.
So, he's born on horseback. He's charged toward you, and he's bearing a martial
Just
weapon.
Throw that back. It's a waste of a.
Okay.
So, no parry?
No, it's a waste.
Okay.
Why would you do that?
12 damage. Oh, he's on horseback. Sorry. 14 damage.
I am lightly wounded.
Okay. So the question is, do you want to put rings around your characters up there, or just track it on your character sheet?
We can just track it.
We've always just tracked it before. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. As he comes forward, you can see that in this big gaping hole in his chest, that the flesh, there's like these worms, it looks like, that are kind of like crawling over his flesh as he moves one step up the damage condition track, possibly. As he is now moderately wounded.
Oh boy.
So, the Brass Paladin's turn is over, now it's Clovis's turn. What would you like to do, Clovis?
Drop my Arbalest crossbow.
Shing. Draw your Zweihander.
Break my egg.
Oh, nice. Okay. So it'll cost 1 AP to break your egg.
Mm-hmm.
It costs 0 AP to draw your weapon,
Beginning of the turn.
right? Because the beginning of your turn. And you'll crack that Flamberger egg. And now it is chink ignited. Remember, the immolate quality allows you, if you inflict an injury, you can opt to catch him on fire instead. That is the benefit of an immolate weapon.
Oh, I thought it was.
So
an injury.
so it's literally, you can either, if you basically, let's pretend for a moment, let's say you knock him to seriously wounded and you roll 2d6, it lands on the 6, you can either choose to do an injury, or you could say, fuck it, I'm gonna catch him on fire and roll 3d10 plus 2 plus 3.
Okay. Well, I was really lighting it on fire to burn the rest of those guys.
Yeah.
more than anything. But I'm gonna hit him.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So it's gonna be challenging. Because he's on horseback and you're on foot.
Get it.
All right, I have a 58% chance, and I missed it. You guys, am I okay to take that one?
Do it.
Yeah.
Roll your dice. I need to tell you something afterward, though. Go ahead and roll.
He's remembering something. That's it.
09.
Nice. Okay. He is going to lightning parry for 70% chance. Roll 27. He draws the blade away. You feel this, before we continue your turn, you feel this sting in your flesh as you realize a splinter of Widowmaker's been left inside you. You must lower your damage threshold by -1 until you bind wounds. In fact, should you suffer many splinters, you'll continue to lower your damage threshold.
Okay.
So you could literally feel there's literally like a starborn sliver of this blade sticking in your chest. That is one of the byproducts of Widowmaker. So, what do you want to do now? You spent 1 AP, you spent one to use
I'm gonna bank
Flamberger
the
egg,
last
one to
because
attack.
I'm gonna have to fend this guy off and the other guy. So
You want to bank it?
yeah, I
Okay.
have to.
Okay.
There's no question.
Me.
That's the
yeah.
taunt.
Espillant, you're up.
Spell set.
I don't know this.
Okay.
hand off good.
So,
Did we ever do this before?
where you're at,
First time
there's
for
someone. It's not first time. We used to do this in the old campaign. We just all forgot. And I need help with the initiative ladder. And this is the best way to solve people missing their turns.
Against it.
So
Not against either.
I think it's going to keep us all on track because I got enough track behind the screen.
Right.
So Espillicent, you've got a torchbearer directly on top of you.
Right. and I have that one extra, but did I use that when he originally came after me? It's getting...
So you banked an action
came
point,
up-
but when your turn starts, any action points you banked are gone, and you start again at 3 AP.
Got it.
Unless for some reason you're stunned, but that's a whole different story. We'll cover that if it happens.
Okay.
So yep. What's your,
Tell me about my staff. Is it just a whacker?
yeah, it's a whacking weapon.
1d6 pummeling.
Plus your brawn bonus.
Just run.
And it's better when you try to parry if you keep action points.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean it's a whacking stick. You reference your brawn bonus when doing damage, but you got to hit first.
Right. Okay.
So you've got sort of the other things that you've been seeing in combat. If you're wanting to, I'm assuming you're wanting to face off with this person.
I
right?
don't know, because I'm thinking if I can run from him and go and
The timer
attack
begins.
attack the horse
Yeah. Well, if you want
and like whap the horse's legs.
if you want to do that, then you would have to use some movement actions
Hus-
to get there.
Hustle.
You could hustle there.
If you hustle, that
Okay.
could provoke an opportunity attack. If you
Okay.
if you maneuver, then you'll safely get away, but that costs 2 AP to do, and you only get to move 3
Gotcha.
yards.
Okay.
Is that what it is in the
3.
starter kit? Yeah.
E3.
Yeah.
Okay,
correct.
so I grab. I have my staff.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of do this like swooshy turn, and I hustle away from Duder, and I head over to the back of the horse.
Hustle or maneuver?
Hustle.
Okay.
So when you use
Oh.
hustle, charge, or run to get away your fingers off your... So
Ow, crap.
I'll give you take backsy because it's the first time.
I'm learning.
Just it's okay. Just
Okay.
keep in mind that anytime that you try to, if you're engaged with an enemy,
Keep your hand on it.
yeah, if
Okay.
you're engaged with an enemy and if you use any movement action, save for maneuver, you will provoke an immediate free attack from them.
Okay.
If it's many enemies, it's always just one attack. So if you had like 3 people on you, it'd just be 1 attack.
Okay.
It wouldn't be 3.
So tell me, the hustle. Was I not able to go that far on a hustle?
You are able to go that far, but the thing is that you'll open yourself up to an opportunity attack. If you use a maneuver, you'd only get to move 3, but
You would still be there.
yeah, then you avoid opportunity attacks. That's why it costs so many action points to do that.
Okay.
But you would still have 1 AP left if you wanted to hit the horse.
I
you
want to
still-
hit the horse.
You could still do it.
Okay, then I'll do the 2 AP maneuver.
Okay.
I'm at the back of the horse, and I'm going to try to thwack it as hard as I can on its leg and try to get it kind of
Strike the horse.
strike the horse.
Okay.
It is a
On the
big, beefy horse.
It is a big,
right.
is a beefy horse.
Right.
It's a routine test.
That's all right. Okay.
Adam, if you would put a red dot right between Toma and Pipistrella.
Okay. You said what is this again?
Tim?
What test?
Routine.
Routine what?
Yeah, I'll take it on one thing.
Well, your weapon is a simple melee weapon.
So that
So
would
it's a
be.
routine simple melee
Oh.
test.
Lord.
Hold now.
Yeah, they're called the chili.
This is melee. 55 plus 10. So 65.
Yeah.
64.
Okay, you hit. Roll damage.
Okay. 1 d6 plus
Brawn.
7. Well, I got 8.
Nice. Well, you take the staff and whack the side of the horse, and it too is in brass armor and brass barding.
I'm going
And-
after the leg. Like.
Oh yeah, I know you are, but
Okay. Okay.
it's unharmed because you didn't do enough damage to penetrate the armor.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah, if you want to avoid armor, that's a whole different system of like,
Okay.
yeah,
It's called shot.
Cold shot.
yeah.
It's called shot.
Which it takes 2 AP, just like your maneuver.
Yeah. So, into your attack actions, you'll see there's different types of attacks. I'm thinking maybe next time we pair her with you, like when we have a fight, because that may give her a little bit more.
Because all I do is combat.
Yes, yes. But
Well,
but more
I-
importantly, what's relevant here is that you can do melee attacks, which are 1 action point, or you do called shots. Called shots are basically like you're kind of narrating, where you want to like hit like a leg. You would say, "I'm going to do a called shot against the leg."
Okay.
That would be a penalty to strike, but something potentially could happen.
I didn't
They can't dodge or parry either.
and I didn't go after the paladin who I had the -20 base chance on. Okay, I'm fine. I'm just trying to piece things together.
Okay.
Now it goes to the husks.
Okay.
They're coming.
Oh boy.
So, you can see kind of out in the shadows, there are these hooded people kind of tussling with the husks. They're in the midst of a fight. So we move on to Toma.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I will drop the hunting bow and arm my flamed mace.
Okay. You get the mace in hand. Okay.
And then I will move. My movement is 8. Okay, I will move 7 and give the brass paladin a whack.
Okay.
Flamed mace.
You just hustling forward?
Yeah, I'm gonna hustle forward.
Roll coordination test. Standard.
Standard coordination. 50% chance to succeed. And a 49 will succeed.
Okay. So, quick point clarification. If at the end of every movement action, like as you're around here, if you move more than 1 yard, which we should have done for you, but that's okay. If you fail it, you fall prone.
Okay.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Because you're falling
Say
into the
that
trench. You're falling into the graves that Toma dug all around here.
Okay.
And we're not specifically tracking them on the board because it's just too much.
Did the brass paladin get to have to roll?
Because he critically failed, it's only going to impact the players. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It's a
okay.
crit fail,
It's
yeah.
okay.
So I'm
Now that's not to
We've
say.
had so many crit
It's
fails
not to
tonight,
say
so-
that you couldn't spend a fortune point to edit the situation.
I
But you're in the middle. But you were going to do something.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm gonna use words as weapons on the brass paladin.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, I know your sword, and tonight you die a gruesome death.
Oh. So go ahead and roll. I'm not going to force you to roll anything.
Okay.
As you say this, he says, "You have chosen your words wrong." Or sorry, he says, "My apologies." He says something along the lines dismissing your words as he's unabated
Okay.
by it. But you can hear the sound of his voice underneath of his helmet. And another story kind of comes back to you about the sword. That you know that the sword, although it has ended many bloodlines, it ultimately betrays its wielder. Widowmaker always betrays its wielder. What do you want to do?
I will do a standard attack.
Just a melee attack?
Yeah.
Yeah. He is, by the way, he is immune to intimidate.
I figured as much,
Yeah.
but I thought it was a fitting.
Yeah, no, it was. It's good. Yeah, I don't want to make you roll if you don't have to roll that.
Right,
so.
right. But I did use the AP on it.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Dauntless and-
difficulty?
Challenging.
Okay. So, challenging test would be 51% chance to succeed. I rolled a 74. Do we have any coins?
Yes.
I'll use a coin.
Okay. All right.
I rolled a 4 that time. That is a success.
What are you swinging?
I'm swinging a flamed mace.
Nice. Okay. Bam! Bam! You hammer him with the edge of the mace.
Okay.
And you're using calcified soma, of course. So you're fill.
I haven't used it, no.
Oh, okay. So this is 1d6.
Yep.
Plus your damage.
So that's 10 damage.
He remains moderately wounded.
And what does powerful do? I always forget
Move
that.
somebody
back.
1 yard back.
But you didn't do damage. You do it before or after. So, let's clarify that real quick because I think it's important to remember. If you have the powerful quality, here is precisely how it works. Powerful's good. It's one of my favorite qualities in the game. So, if you have the powerful quality, after you deal damage with this weapon, at your option, they must resist toughness or be shoved away from you 1 yard.
Okay.
After you deal damage. So,
Alright.
it's up for damage, therefore powerful doesn't work.
In that case, I'll use another. I'll use a coin to turn my die roll to a 6.
Okay. I'll take that.
So 14 damage now.
Nice.
If hopefully this does enough damage to push him.
Well, he is seriously wounded, and as the blow crashes into him, his horse kind of rears up, and he's going to have to resist to see if he doesn't get moved away. His chance is resolve. Toughness, my apologies. So it's 70. Actually, let's roll right here. Why not? 83. He is in fact moved backwards. Force movement does not provoke an opportunity attack. However, the blow is solid enough to just knock him completely backwards, the horse backwards, and him as they kind of move backwards.
Oh, it affects the horse too somehow.
Yep, he's on the horse.
Roll for those injuries.
Okay.
Yeah, roll percentile for injury.
2? Oh, percentile. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, for serious injury.
70.
70.
Higher's better, right?
Oh God! So
You're like, I don't know the
there's this.
table
He
anymore.
winds up, and there's this. Well, bam! And you hear the mace strike the armor, and he's unhorsed
Ooh.
as he's knocked prone
Oh,
on
yeah.
the ground.
God, this is perfect.
As he falls prone, however, he somehow finds himself on his feet almost instantly.
Of course.
But he is now suffering from a rib wound, which means he can't add skill ranks to agility or brawn-based skill tests.
Sounds like I'm hitting him in the same spot.
Yeah, where that
Arrows
bolt
in it?
was. Yeah.
Knock that bolt right in.
So as this happens, the horse remains where it's at.
It's just a giant obstacle now.
It is not a giant obstacle. It's a vicious storm horse.
It's a horse. It's a mean horse.
It's a big old mean horse. That's right. So
My turn is over.
Okay.
And now it is Pipistrella's turn.
okay. Oh wait,
Wait.
we got a red.
Yeah.
So
Red dot.
anytime we have a red dot, a husk is slain and set on fire by the highwaymen.
Oh.
Awesome.
So,
Nice.
if we go back to our board, we will assume this one is knocked away. So that's the advantage of not only the spell that Pipistrella cast, but also the impact of the highwaymen and of Civil
I love
fighting
that.
these in the background. We don't need to
It's
show them on the
punishing.
board, but just assume narratively this is all kind of happening as you're fighting. But you see one of the husks collapse to the ground, and Civil set it aflame as he crashes a Molotov cocktail into they begin burning. So, Pipistrella, it's your turn.
Okay.
And it's due because, like I said, it's due because you cast your spell. So your spells were not wasted.
Yeah. I mean, even so, they're not wasted because they're not swarming us. So,
That's right.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
no. Earlier I was just assuming that you weren't going to cross them, but now I know why because you did tell me. So I see this sling. This guy's the paladin's right in front of me, so I don't know what to do, and
Hit him.
I just like this. First off, is he wearing any sort of surcoat at all or livery? Okay.
No.
So then she just like feels the spirit that she just crushed flow through her, and she like bends over, picks up a rock, and starts yelling at the top of her lungs, like, and she's gonna attempt to trip him.
Okay. Is this a takedown?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. So you realize that the paladin, much like the other, like the torchbearers, if you were standing, he is standing.
He's really big.
large.
Yeah, she's trying to bowl him over and bring him down to her size. It's like she's uncharacteristically incensed right now.
Yeah. So he's bigger, so he
Okay.
could be easier to take down, although his chance to resist is maybe a little higher. So it's going to be a routine test.
Okay, coordination is really 57%, and a 09 will succeed.
Nice. Okay. And he's to resist with coordination. You know what? Somebody's suffering from a rib wound, so he can't add skill ranks to this. So his agility is he has a 45% chance, and that's it.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, the rip
That's the
wound.
first time that
Still resist.
I rolled a 69. Nice. I'm going to re-roll that, though.
Whoa.
42. So he does
Of
not
course.
fall to the ground. Yeah, it was narrow. I mean, off by 3 points.
Yeah,
so he clambers backwards and catches himself against the pillar
good. It was a good
and
plan.
comes back up on his feet. Yeah, the rip wound is good.
When he catches himself against the pillar, that's when she's going to like hold the rock above her head as she just jams it into that hole into his armor as she's
Okay.
like yelling at the top of her lungs, like the final girl in a horror movie who's
Yeah.
finally standing up to the villain.
So before you roll, to clarify once again, a rib wound means he cannot add skill ranks to brawn-based skill tests or agility-based skill tests. So think about tactically how you may use your perilous stunts to your advantage.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll to attack. It's going to be routine for you.
Routine, simple melee. So 57, 67. No, wait, wrong one. 61%.
Nice.
And 84 won't do it. Do we have any coins left at all? Yep. So,
I've got all the misfortune.
and a 20 will succeed.
Nice.
As she feels the rage from that spirit build up in her for the extra d6 to.
That's
weapon-
right. You use the calcified soma.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, the only
You unlocked the first secret of soma.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll damage. Add your.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, sixes.
I got 1 6.
Nice.
So that's 9 so far. So 13 plus
Nice.
6 is 19 damage with the rock.
He's grievously wounded.
The rock crashes down into the brass paladin, as he is in fact grievously wounded.
Roll that beautiful
I rolled 36.
No 6s.
Nah. Well,
Too bad you used all your coins.
Hey, it was worth it to knock
Hit
him
him.
another step down.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
she's going to take, she's gonna after hitting him in the chest a few times, she's gonna start breathing heavily as she's ready for whatever retribution will come her way,
Okay.
holding this rock in her hand,
Okay.
baking the last AP.
Yeah. So, torchbearers.
they would be next.
Okay. Well,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, torchbearers are next.
one rushes toward Aspillicent
Yeah.
with its torch above its head and its hand out to grab the hold of you, and it's going to take the chokehold.
Okay.
And I succeeded. So you need to resist. So basically, you need to make a. Oh boy. You need to make a standard.
You bank too, so you can dodge.
Well,
Oh.
to resist.
It's athletics. It's
Yeah.
athletics.
You need to resist using athletics, and you must flip to fail.
Okay. Wait.
Count for that last time.
Flip to fail. Explain that again. It's the
It's
flipping the dice.
the worst of the dice.
Okay.
To resist its chokehold, it's flip to fail.
Okay. So brawn. Standard. 40. And
No,
90?
that's fair.
You failed.
I failed.
Not a
So
crit, so you're fine there. But
Okay.
it charged forward,
Okay.
grabbed a hold of her. It is going to do to you. You suffer 10 physical peril, not
Okay.
damage.
So I've got 8.
Mhm.
And then I do 9, 10.
No,
It's threshold.
You go down
You just-
1 if
you
it
just move
passes
down.
that one, 2 if it passes that one. So you're at 14. It didn't reach 15, so you're fine. So it
you
only
go-
went past your first threshold. Does
You
that
go
make sense?
one step down the
Remember,
parapet.
there are no hit points in Zweihander.
Okay.
Damage and peril are thresholds. So if damage or peril exceeds the number,
So it was 10, right?
Okay, let me back up. So I failed. He grabbed my neck and did how much?
10 physical peril to you.
10 physical peril, and my main is 8, then 14. So it's not over the 14.
So you just went down
Correct. So
one.
you moved just down only one step.
Oh, got it.
Down one step. So
Got it.
imperiled.
Got it.
Or
So
unhindered,
if it
imperiled, or
if it would have
I don't know
been
where everybody's at.
20,
If it would have been 15, you would move 2 steps down instead.
got it. Okay,
Or 24, it would have moved you down 3 steps.
got it. Okay.
So, not only is the torchbearer strong enough to do this, it lifts her off the ground
I am
and
small.
begins to move. Spending an action point, holding her in the air with one hand and the torch in the other, it starts to actually carry her with him. Moving over to you,
I'm slightly
Toma.
I'm slightly I'm worried, but I'm also just like,
Yeah. Anything you had in your hands will drop on the ground.
okay,
It's basically got a hold of your throat, and you're like, it's
Yeah.
carrying you across the way, and it comes over to Toma for hustle. And it's going to make a melee attack with its torch. The torch swings out toward you. That's a crit success.
Nothing I can do about that.
The torch smashes into you, and as it smashes into you, the cinder pops off the end. It breaks the torch. The torch is broken. As you suffer. There's a 6. Sorry. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 damage.
Okay, so
You see these cinders kind of explode all over.
we got 2 steps to seriously wounded.
Oh boy, roll 1d6.
2d6.
2d6. Sorry, add one more because it's 2d6. My apologies.
4 and 4.
We'll turn that into a 6. Suddenly, you see that Tama is on fire. Roll 3d10 and add 3. Sorry, 2d10. Yes, 3d10 and add 3.
25.
Oh man.
oh boy,
Alright, so 25 will bring me down 3 steps. So I will use a fate point to survive.
okay, where's
Okay. You see the fire and flame explode all over around Tama. And you can see that he's burning for a moment. That you think that he's probably going to burn to death as he's screaming, but he somehow manages to escape the flame but narrowly escaping it.
He falls in one of his holes.
It's to my advantage.
Sorry, man.
The other torchbearer, which is on Clovis, charged over. It is going to swing its torch at you as well.
Okay.
So it's 65% chance. I roll an 11. I just rolled 2 crit successes back to back. I'm so
Alright.
sorry.
Well, Rankin's no.
Oh
We
man.
rolled like 3.
This has been a kind of a weird pitched battle. So
It's been quite the critical.
1d6. I just literally rolled a 6 again. I swear to God, I'm not making this up.
I don't know if we're believing all these 6s.
6, 10, 15 damage.
oh
And the torch explodes in cinders as it is snuffed out. Anytime you strike somebody with a torch, it has the break quality, so the torch breaks.
And I'm seriously.
Okay, roll 2d6.
But I also have no pain, no gain, so I move 1 step back up.
What's that do?
To give, when I'm injured, or oh wait, I haven't been injured yet. No injury.
Okay, all right. No flames. That's good. So the torchbearer's turns are over. The brass paladin is up next. Once again, you can see those little like maggots and worms kind of working their way through his flesh as he is revived up to seriously wounded. And with that, the paladin will maneuver backwards for 3 yards for 2 AP. You make a feeble swing, but it is not enough to connect. And as he backs away, he will spend his last action point to pop a laudanum and glug 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 glug. And now he is moderately wounded.
Oh boy.
And then I will use. What will I do? Oh, yes. I'm sorry. He levels his sword. You are mine. He has chosen you as his foe, so you're left defenseless to all of his attacks now. And I think my turn is over.
What about the horse?
You can see his brass armor is busted open, like leaving him completely exposed to a called shot. So, Brass Paladin's turn is over. Clovis, you're up next.
Is the horse good to go?
I should probably roll for the horse on his turn. You know what? Go ahead and put a yellow dot beneath Clovis. We'll move the horse down 1.
Okay.
So the paladin is kind of moved backward. So if we're going to spin the battlefield around here, he's moved back. The massive storm horse is still amid everyone over here. He's moved beyond the kind of blue. What's the spell called again? I'm sorry.
How do I get through there?
Which one? Oh, Beyond the Pale.
Beyond the pale. That's right.
Can I walk? You can't go through your own people anymore, right?
You can. Yes. Always. If you want to go over low cover, it costs 2 movements instead of 1. So you go 1, 2, 3.
And shoot. Maybe.
I don't have my. That's,
Oh, you dropped it.
dropped it at my feet.
Pick it up. It's 1 action point.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot of AP, though.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
We might just. Your call.
Well, this guy's on me. We gotta.
The torchbearer.
Yep.
Okay. The good thing is his torch has been extinguished, so I'm going to remove those.
He just got one big arm like this.
Yeah, the arm is literally wrenched out of its
Hey,
socket,
guys.
and it's like almost like a shepherd's crook, like it's kind of hanging. It's leaning above
He's
its
like
head
a
like
kid in
this.
school that's holding their hand up in
Trying to
the air
balance
really
it.
long time.
Yep.
Teacher, I know the answer. I know.
All right.
You see 2 of the torches at its waist amid the flesh armor it wears. There's 2 torches at its waist that are not burning currently, but it is kind of bound in rope around the flesh armor at its waist. The torchbearer is wearing that.
So, can I use a cold shot to hit those torches with my flaming sword and light them on fire?
You sure could.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So called shot is -10 to strike.
But they can't dodge or parry or.
Point of clarification. Because I'm going to clarify for the starter kit specifically. I think it says
So
on
cannot
your, I think it says
parry
on
or
your sheet
dodge it.
too. It should
Yeah.
tell you.
That says it right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So go
That's
ahead
what I
and roll a hit. So it's challenging to hit.
Okay, so 58, 32, just one more would have been crit.
Now.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and use a make that punishing.
So before you do that, I am going to use a misfortune token to try to parry with its bare hands.
They can't parry. I called shot.
It's called shot.
Oh, that's right. My apologies. You're right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead and roll. Roll hit or roll damage. Oh my god. Excuse me.
Punishing.
Punishing.
Ooh.
And that's a 6.
Nice.
Plus I get to do the fire to this guy. Was the whole point of this. So 10. Yeah. 10, 12, and 6. No, 5. Sorry, 5.
17.
17. And then does he start on? Does he
So,
light fire?
here's what we're gonna do. He is moderately wounded.
Ouchie.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna attempt to resist to see if he can somehow evade catching on fire. This is gonna be a really poor roll for him. It's gonna be hard. But your weapon is on fire, and it's a reasonable assumption that maybe you could ignite these torches, and then he could potentially burn himself. Remember, a torch only does 1d10 plus 1 damage. So
You said there was 3 of them.
there's 2. You don't. It's not additive. It doesn't work that way. So I'm gonna attempt to resist. Let's see what happens. Then we'll make a coordination to be in your favor. So he has a 15% chance.
Okay.
I roll.
16 there's a chance.
I roll a critical failure. I roll a 0, 0, 0. I can't. I'm serious. I'll roll everything in front of you if you want. We're rolling criticals like fucking
believe
crazy tonight. It's been that evening. So roll 2d10 plus 10. 2.
Okay, that's 22 points. And then for the injury,
Moderately.
I didn't get injured.
Don't roll injury yet. Let me moderately.
Oh wait, 22. Yeah, 22. That was right. 10, 2 plus 10.
It's now currently burning on fire as the torchbearer has been slain.
Nice. One of those guys off the table.
Nice.
We like this.
One torchbearer has been brought to the slaughter.
I'm coming for you next, brass dildo.
Good name is.
This is brass is all flapping around.
So who's after you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Horse.
Is the yellow the horse?
Yeah.
Okay, the yellow is the horse. Sorry.
The storm horse canters around. He was running toward the paladin, and the paladin mounts it as it rushes by.
Do we get a opportunity attack?
Somebody does. It's either going to be
Not me.
it's going to be Pipistrella or it's going to be
Pipistrella
you.
Pipistrella would love to take this.
I would like to take it too.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
What are you attacking with?
Plunge mace.
Nice. Okay, the mace is in hand.
Difficulty. Sorry.
It's okay. It's challenging.
Okay.
Or, sorry, routine. My apologies.
I missed.
Oh. Whoa. Nothing happens. The horse comes back around, and the brass paladin is mounted once again to remove the yellow dot. Now you used all of his action points. Hustle, and use an additional action point to take somebody with you, and amount. Done. So, it is now Espillison's turn.
I'm flailing about.
Oh, that's right. You need to escape a chokehold.
Okay.
And when you try to escape, it is... God, this is terrible. It's a flip to fail, and it's standard athletics to escape.
Okay. So athletics. 40, 40, 50.
So it's a failure if you're at 40, right?
Yeah, 40.
You can attempt to try again if you like with the fortune point. Because if you don't succeed, your turn is over. You can do nothing else. Once you're caught in a chokehold.
49.
Ah! You cannot escape its grasp. Espillicent, your turn is over.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm just dangling in the air.
Who's up next?
Husks.
Oh,
are next.
yes.
Will we remove one more off?
You do every red dot.
Oh, every red dot.
The husks are kind of embattled with the highwaymen. You see one of the highwaymen fall.
I have a little piece of chip.
You can see the flash of
It's
Sybil's
for the
sword as he is readying another pot of oil and trying to get the end the thing lit so he can get the next one caught on fire. Toma, it's your turn.
Okay. This thing in front of me, that is a torchbearer, I'm guessing?
It is a torchbearer, and in one hand it has a Espillicent around the throat as Espillicent's trying to escape. In the other hand is kind of retching over its head like this.
Okay. I will attempt a takedown on this guy.
I'm trying to communicate with you with my language, but no one knows my language, so it just looks like I'm doing this.
It's going to be a standard test.
Okay. So that's athletics or coordination. Okay, I'm going to do coordination.
Okay.
For 50. And I rolled 15. That is a success.
Nice. Okay. Let's see if it can resist. I don't think it's going to be very hot. That's 47. I missed. So, Aspillicent, you were immediately dropped to the ground.
Yes.
And the torchbearer drops to the ground too, as you're both now prone.
And now I will crush him.
Now I will
Crash him. Crash him, please.
What will you crush him with?
Plunged mace.
Okay. It's a routine to strike him when he's on the ground.
Alright. 71% chance to succeed. And that is a success.
Oh, crash right into it.
One for being on the ground, and one for the weapon, so that is 11.
Nice. It is lightly wounded. You strike these kind of like hardened flesh. This hide armor literally made of like hardened human flesh. That's still buzzing with gnats and flies as it's still curing in places
Powerful,
too.
I can push it too.
You can't push it when it's on the ground. So,
Just wanted to get it out of that square.
it's on the ground. So let's. What are you gonna do there? What are you gonna do now? You spent 2 AP so far.
Can I help Aspillicent up?
So get up as 2 AP. If you want to do it for somebody else, you can spend an additional action point. Do you have a skill rank in coordination?
No.
Okay, there's 3 AP to do it.
3 AP. Alright.
If you spend your fortune points, you can do it.
3 AP. So I only have one. I only have 1 AP, so I'd spend 2 AP to help grade up. Not a very good option. I'm going to bank my last AP. I think I don't really have a really good option.
You broke the chokehold.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna
very
say,
thankful.
I'm going to say I'm done and move on to the
So, Aspillicent, I'm going to give you a choice.
Okay.
You can either act now and we will move you down the initiative ladder, or you can simply wait until your next turn. What would you like to do?
I'd like to act.
Okay. Go ahead and place Aspillicent beneath Thomas. And move the red dot below her, obviously. So just move the initiative ladder down a little bit. Yeah, so I think it's pretty fair. You knock somebody out of a chokehold, they lost their turn, you get to take their turn. Why not? At your option.
So I'm gonna get up.
Okay, get up. Do you have a skill ranking coordination? If you have 1 skill ranking coordination.
I do.
Nice, you can get up for 1 AP instead. So as Spell said, you come up to your feet. You were not armed with your weapon though.
Right. Where what is that one?
It costs 1 AP to interact. Just to grab a weapon.
Interact. Grab. Okay, so I'm gonna use my second AP to grab my weapon.
Okay, now your staff is in hand.
And he's right in front of me.
Yeah, the torchbearer is literally lying on the ground, fully exposed, as you see.
I'm gonna do a melee attack.
Nice. Okay, it's going to be a standard test for you.
Okay.
Time to.
I'm getting tired. I'm slowing down. 45. 39.
Nice.
That's
a hit.
A hit. Okay.
Roll damage. It's normally 1d6 plus your brawn. It's now 2d6 instead because it's on the ground.
Ooh.
Yeah, when you hit somebody on the ground, you just roll 1d6.
5, 6. 4, 5, 6.
All right, and then add your brawn.
Was there a 6
10.
in there?
No.
No,
Oh.
two.
Oh, sorry. I thought I heard
No.
6. I was like, roll
4,
that 6 again.
5, 6. 10.
10. Nice. Okay.
10.
It is now moderately wounded. Let's see if you actually if you injure it. Roll 1d6 if you're chaos die. If you roll a 6, it's injured.
5.
Okay. The torchbearer is now moderately wounded as you are whittling it away. Anything else you wish to do, Spellset?
I think that's all I've got.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
who's next on the
Oh yeah. Next is the
red dot.
red dot.
Okay.
The
One of the husks is dispatched once again.
husk.
And we turn next to Pipistrella.
All right, Pipistrella, seeing what's happening here, doesn't want to go after the brass paladin all by herself, and still filled with the first secret of Soma. She's going to still be yelling at the top of her lungs, and she's going to yell some madness about, go back to the custodian and give her what was stolen from her, as she'll hustle for 1 AP and then try and bring the rock down in the general area of the head of this thing.
Oh yeah.
Crush.
Yeah.
So it's routine to strike.
Yes.
Routine to strike. I didn't want to make it sound like a called shot. Yeah.
Right,
Like,
I
down
got
on the head of this thing. And then,
Bearish.
yeah. So routine would be 61. And the 68 won't do it. Do we have any?
We do.
Go for it.
Let's try.
I like the Soma snorting.
And
You all of a sudden like Pipistrella
Yeah.
a little bit more.
A 58. Yes, that will do it. So that's a
Nice.
success.
Rock bash.
So 1d6 for on the ground, 1d6 for the weapon, 1d6 for Selma.
Yep.
The first secret.
I think I'm gonna have to break it so we can.
All right, there's a 6. So 7 plus 6 is 13. Plus 2 is 15. Plus 6 is 21.
Torchbearer is quieted. Crash! As you bring it down, it is dispatched,
Yes, queen.
I give you what was stolen, mother.
leaving only the husks and the brass paladin. Anything else you wish to do, Mistrella?
She will hold on to this rock as it is like her new meaning of life, and she will bank that AP. No, actually, this seems more appropriate. She's going to say, this is ours. We are doing holy work. We are going to send them back and so that she will not be robbed. She's going to attempt to inspire everyone.
Nice. Go ahead and it's good.
I mean,
Where you on the damage condition track?
Lightly wounded.
Okay. It's going to be routine.
The
Routine.
rock moving pip is already inspired
Yeah.
me. So.
Leadership routine is fellowship. So it'll be 59 flip to fail. And a 75 won't do it. It
Oh.
would have if
The
I
words are
read-
inspiring, but not really inspiring. They don't lift anyone's spirits. They're good words. Anything else you should do, Pipistrella?
No, that was her last action point.
The torchbearers
And-
have all been brought to slaughter, leaving only the brass paladin. And you see, as he swings up on the horse from the horn of the saddle, he lifts the visor of his helmet, and you can see these pool of darkness where his face should be, an absence of flesh and everything else. And he raises his sword as he levels it out, and he will make one last desperate charge into the fray.
Yep, she got confident.
Yeah. So he hustles forward toward Pipistrella, and this the brass paladin brings his sword down.
Yeah.
And I'll roll this in front of you just in case.
Okay.
I should. I roll 93. So the first thing, whoosh over your head. But I will re-roll for a misfortune point.
At least
Put that
Aaron
back
is the
in
clown.
the pot.
Yeah.
Okay,
Small victories.
Oh.
that's a hit.
Okay.
Oh.
So
I mean, it's like 80 or below. So.
Yeah, it is happening. I'm lucky to get that, fortune point.
So he hustled. He made a melee attack. 7, 8, 15 damage with the sword.
She is seriously wounded.
Okay. As this happens, a splinter of the blade remains inside you as you lower your damage condition track by -1.
Yeah.
And you're rolling for serious?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a vicious weapon, so roll 3d6.
No sixes.
Oh, serious?
Yep.
Okay, roll percentiles. Spend a misfortune point. His last desperate attack. What will he leave behind?
69.
Nice. Serious, you said?
Yeah.
Seriously? Wow.
Every time. Nice.
You immediately gain 6 corruption as you were knocked off your feet.
Man.
You, my friend, are shell-shocked.
Okay.
Until recuperated, you cannot add more than one 1d6 Fury Knight of damage.
Oh, man.
So you see Pipistrella fall to the ground. Simon the Small, I come for thee! As he says, as he uses his next action to move 18 on his horseback.
Oh.
Provoking an opportunity attack from either one of you if you wish.
Sure.
So, let's see what happens here.
Just standard? Yep.
No. It's routine because it's opportunity attack.
Okay, 78%. 70 will hit.
Nice.
Roll damage.
Can I add punishing?
Absolutely you can.
Alright.
If you, well, you don't have any action points banked?
I do. I banked an action point.
Nice, so yes you can.
6, 14.
20.
Holy shit.
Oh, whoa.
Oh no.
Turn that into
Uh-oh,
a
spending a
6.
fortune point for more damage?
So that's 11.
Oh! 11, 6, 17.
Oh, well,
Something.
yeah, he technically revivified, so I'm not going to put a ring on him.
But he already revivified and you took rings off.
Did I?
Yeah,
I think
it
I
started
did.
with a
That's
round.
right. So, I am moderately, so seriously, roll 2d6.
Let's go ahead and give him an injury.
You want to spend a fortune point to do
I
that?
do, and I want to set him on fire for
So,
3D.
one moment. So here's your choice.
I'm going to set him on fire.
Before you make a choice,
I'm
uh,
going to set him on fire.
trust me, you'll want to make a choice here. So here's what you can do. You can either set him on fire, you can unhorse him, or you disarm him.
Fire's 3D10. Fire.
The man is filled with a strange netherworld power as the fire bursts forth all around his armor, and he continues his travel through the encampment unabated by the flame.
25 points of fire. I rolled 2 10s.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The brass paladin, bits and pieces of his armor left behind in his wake, is moving through the encampment. Clovis, it's your turn.
Oh. I'm going to charge and attack. And I'm moving back so there's no holes.
That's right. You're not moving toward the ruins at all. You're just in pursuit of the brass paladin as he's he's traveling west after Simon the Small.
Don't run from me.
He is currently seriously wounded. What do you want to do?
I'm going to attack.
With a melee, just a melee attack?
Wait.
Still exposed. Still widely exposed.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure he's still exposed, so... Then yeah, just regular attack. That hits.
Nice.
And so for charge and extra...
So you charge forward, and he still has Widowmaker in his hand, and I have these misfortune points here, so he's going to attempt to parry. And he's on horseback.
I thought you said he was... Okay, go ahead.
So, I'll roll in front of you. Because this is good for me to roll in front of you for this. 60% chance. 72! He did parry! Roll damage.
Nice.
How many of those do we got?
You
That's a
spend
6, and so I'm going to spend another one to make this a 6 too.
one. Nice.
So 12. I'm going to make one of these into a 6.
Can't do that. You only
Okay.
spend one coin.
Dang it.
But did you use punishing?
Oh, I didn't use punishing. I didn't use punishing.
Well, you
So
charged.
that's 12,
And you melee attack.
5, 17.
So if you spend a coin,
punishing,
you can spend a coin to add
I still
an
have the
action point.
additional action point.
You charged and you made a
Okay.
melee attack.
Yeah,
So if you
you
want to spend a
wouldn't
coin,
need
you
to
can do
spend a
that.
coin.
Okay, then there's another. So 17 and 5 and then 6. So 17. 28.
Okay. So what happens as he's brought to the slaughter?
I'm gonna light him on. I'm just gonna stab. Once he falls off, I'm gonna take my Zweihander and I'm gonna stab it through his heart and leave it in there. And let it just catch the rest of his rotted corpse on fire. Nice.
As he drops off of his horse, he drops off his horse, and the horse continues bounding through the encampment as it bolts off into the distance. The brass paladin is brought low, and as you draw the blade through his heart, there's this moment where there's nothing. Like there's nothing for the sword to bite into, as you see his armor in flesh and darkness just turn into this strange scintillating mist and swirl around, and the wind carries it away. The only thing that's left behind is his sword that still has blood all over it. Widowmaker remains behind.
Yes.
You Pipistrella and Clovis, still feel the sting of the splinters of Widowmaker in you. So, what I'd like for you to do, I'm going to give this to both of you. How many times were you hit by him, Tim?
Once.
Okay. And the same thing for Pierce. Here's a sting of Widowmaker. And your hit once as well, Mr. Pipistrella.
It's like, where do I put it?
Yeah, let's put it over on your second side of your character sheet. Okay. So he literally just dissipates into mist, and the sword drops to the ground.
Don't
You look
touch it.
around. The husks have been brought to the slaughter, as softly kindling and burning on the edge of the ruins.
Well,
Grab that sword.
Do it.
Pipistrella gets up and runs over towards the essentially suit of armor that's there, yelling at the top of her lungs.
There's no armor.
Right.
Everything is gone.
Okay, well she
save for
runs.
the sword.
She
Yeah.
runs over there, yelling and like screaming at the top of her lungs at the mist. What happened to him? What happened to him?
I'm gonna pull my sword out.
You bit the ground, and you kind of pull the blade out of where the mitten has fallen across the land.
She's not talking to you. She talks to the mist, like is
Right,
yelling at
okay.
the mist. What happened?
I'm
to
just
him?
as confused, so
Yeah.
I'm just.
I'm just looking up like
Where did it go?
No. No.
I'm gonna saunter over there.
Do we need to go help the highwaymen? I'm gonna snap back into military duty.
You can see that they're kind of crowded around something or someone.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sauntering and go back the other way. I'm gonna.
I'll just put a hand on Pip. Come on, Pip. That's all we can do.
What?
Welcome to Galleon. I'll just turn her around and head towards the highwaymen.
Yeah, the highwaymen are crowded around. You're guessing at first one of the dam, then you realize kind of standing beneath a pillar, like leaning against it, is Sybil. And Sybil has all these deep contusions and an arm that's been broken backwards, and he is dead. Sybil has been slain.
Your one card's dead.
Well. I don't know if that monster's gone or not.
I don't think he is.
Well, if one thing's true, he knows to fear us now.
And that's Dr. Shell. You're shell shocked, right?
We'll bring him low again if it comes to it.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull out my rock gut, take a rip, and just hand it over. I don't even know. Look at the highwaymen. You boys did all right.
We kind of look among one another. They don't look right to you.
The highwayman?
We'll draw the session to a close. Okay, everyone.
Whoa, cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe, Oh, wow.
So everyone unlocks
So
unlock one, unlock another ability, which is nice. I think we had a lot of corruption tonight, at least for those who took this to use the Soma.
I think only Adam did.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay,
I
it
still
is-
got corruption.
It is a matter of whether or not I gain 2 chaos ranks tonight.
Yeah.
I got screen
You said
death.
unlock an ability?
We'll cover that in just a moment.
Okay.
That one.
So let's. So what's your corruption roll? Corruption roll for tonight. I need to roll that. Is 4.
I only gained 1 chaos rank.
I have
One.
0, so
Wait,
I'll
no,
go
I gained 2.
4.
Never mind.
Oh God.
I gained 2. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, you want me to take Widowmaker?
I want to take Widowmaker. That's why I was sauntering over there. I'm like, I want that thing.
I don't want it. It's yours.
It's curse.
I got Betty.
I'm-
I'll pat my Zweihander on my side.
So,
If you pick up
Four.
that,
Yeah. How many did you gain at all? Did you gain any corruption this session? So you gain
In order.
you can wait.
You can choose now.
No, I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause
Choose
you didn't
order or
gain any.
chaos
That's
rank,
right.
up to
You
you.
didn't gain it. Yes.
Yeah.
if you pick
so
up that sword,
my corruption tracker is now at 4, and I can choose to go up 1 on either side.
Yes. And that will go away because the roll has been made. So that's a 0. You're supposed to mark that before he rolls, and then or wait, no. Because he rolled a 4, it doesn't matter. Because you didn't gain any points whatsoever, you get to choose. The roll doesn't matter to you for this game session.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can go order or chaos. It's up to you.
Sorry.
I know,
I
right?
gotta take a shower too because I was working in the yard.
I would. Yeah. Okay.
Hit the sweaty head.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Man, I was working in the yard before it came over.
Oh man. So let's wrap up the session. Let's go around the table. Wow, that turned to combat pretty quick. That was I was not expecting that.
Thank you.
I built terrain just in case, but
You had all that terrain built, Dan. You know.
well, I went into this preparing
Because if it went
for.
to Nick, he was gonna do the same.
I would prepare for best case, worst case scenario. Unfortunately, you kind of missed out on some story stuff, but that's okay. You got a cursed sword if you want to take it.
I want it.
He keeps trying to warn you, but you just seem not to be listening.
yeah.
Well, you can make that
Tell
decision
Mom we'll
between
warn
sessions. Somebody else may take it. We'll find
I'm
out.
Good. I got
Or you
It will
Betty.
could
be
have
your
fun
end. Or you have
Fun.
fun.
and
Yeah.
take it.
I already wrote it down.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have lots of fun.
I cannot tell you what it does until you ensconce it. That's the drawback with sacred remnants. You will not know their effects until you ensconce them.
Oh, so this thing has to be ensconced too. Crazy.
Yep.
Okay.
What type of weapon is it?
It can be either a simple or a martial melee weapon.
Okay.
What I just picked up? Is that what you're trying? Okay. I have it in my inventory. I grabbed it.
Yeah. Can't do anything with it until you
That's
ensconce it. That means you have to give up your Viserys Ren. So let's talk about the session.
What about it?
I'm.
Yeah.
We fought. We killed. So I really wasn't expecting him. I really thought he was gonna get away.
he did something that I wanted to do, but wasn't sure if I could since I'm so new. But I wanted to start some stuff. Yeah, I was really stoked that you did that.
When were you?
You can
Why
always,
didn't you think you were able to do something?
Because I'm super new and nervous.
You can always start stuff.
So,
I've
consider
started
this.
shit so many times.
Real
never
quick
tell you.
game mechanics. Just a quick point of clarification.
So
If you're unsure mechanically what to do, narratively choose something, and I will
Yeah.
tell you what it costs an AP.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a sure, and that happens all the time at the table, all the time for all of us.
Sometimes
So,
we want to do some sort of action that we're not really sure what
Yeah.
the skill is or
Yeah.
something like that. We're just like, this is what I want to do, and then we'll adjudicate it from there.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I will say, I don't think we have a lot of time left, so I'll just go to wrap it up here real quick. I will say that if those spells weren't cast, this would have been very different.
That would have been
Yeah.
slaughtered.
That would have
really
been. It would have been a very, very difficult battle. Even with the decision I made narratively to remove husks for every round,
It
essentially.
was nice not to have to track so much stuff for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's why I'm so adamant about this initiative ladder thing. It saves me so much time. It saves you frustration when you get skipped over. It's in your hands. It's not mine. Shared load works out better. Yeah, mechanically, I have to roll Widowmaker stats. I have to roll Widowmaker's rolls in front of you. I can't tell you why, unless she chooses to ensconce the weapon. So we'll just, I think we didn't really have a lot of opportunity to interact today because we had a pretty short session, but maybe next week or the week thereafter.
Hey there, viewers. If you like what you're seeing, take the next step. Head on over to our Patreon where we create content for Zweihander and other games. Just go to grimandperilous.com and click on the Patreon button. Thanks.